There we go. We'll just act like, oh no, something screwed up. Oh, hold on. My Zoom window isn't the same since I came back in. Are we in the same spots? Yes, we are. Awesome. Technical difficulties. Welcome to the internet, everyone. This is the Stalwart Initiative. We are back with Shade and Cinder, our D&D 5e Eberron campaign. And as wasted a bunch of time during doing technical stuff, let's hop right into the game itself. So let's go around and meet everyone, and then we'll have Derek, our awesome DM, bring us in on the story. So Jillian, can you introduce yourself and Morg to us today, please?
I am Jillian, Jillian of Midgard, most places on the internet, Jill of Midgard on Twitter. I'm playing Morag. She is a elf-orc hybrid who's a warlock with a patron, which is a coven of witches, evil witches, hags technically. And she is ready to go on one of the first dates of her entire life and watch some stars with a venerable old wizard who I'm sure will be a perfect gentleman the entire time.
Made him sound so regal compared to what he sounded like last week. So yeah, he's totally a great dude. Totally. Awesome. Speaking of great dude, Nate, who are you and who is Cyrus and what are you doing?
I like how that segue actually worked.
Yeah, for once.
I am Nate. I am the husband of Jillian, and that is my biggest claim to fame at the moment. I'll be playing Cyrus Alderman. He's a Knight of Karnath, a paladin who follows the blood of Vol. He controls undead and hits things really hard and charges into danger. That's kind of his whole deal. And he's excited to finally get to the crux of our adventure, the Mournland.
Yes, yeah. The old war veteran himself. Awesome. So speaking of a veteran, though, let's a veteran of well, at least this community, right, Kay? Right. So
I was waiting to hear like the segue. I was curious how you were going to make it work. You got there. You got there.
It was, we'll stumble into the right thing every time. So, Kay, can you introduce yourself and Ramiel to us today?
Hi, everyone. My name is Kay. I'm at ironic_cupcake on Twitch and Twitter. Today I'm playing Ramiel, a half-elf divine soul sorcerer. I'm being a huge nerd this week, and I got some little ears, so I'm very excited for those. I am excited because I've never had like this hardcore of like a DPS spellcaster. I'm usually kind of in between a spellcaster and like a melee combatant. I play a lot of bards and stuff, but Rami, just the new spells I'm getting for her, she's going to blow something up, and it's going to be great.
Yes, that you are very proficient at because you brought the fire. You've definitely learned how to bring the fire. I guess we'll before we bring the thunder with Derek's DMing skills. I guess I'll introduce myself. I'm Kyle. I'll be playing Midge, and super excited and feeling less like Pondus has got to take my job, so that's cool. That's a little less insecurities out there. I guess we'll do channel stuff. So, if you're not part of our Discord community, come join us in Discord. We do one shots. We pull people to play one shots on Discord. Usually, like every other Friday or 2 or 3 Fridays out of the month. We'll do one shots in Discord, and we have 2 campaigns running right now. We have our Eberron campaign right now, and we have our Desert Adventure campaign on Wednesdays. And our one-shots are usually on Fridays. Check out our Discord community and our YouTube channels. One is for these playthroughs, these Let's Plays, actual plays. I don't know what they're called anymore. Maybe Kay will know. She's down with the new lingo, the GIFs and everything. So, maybe is this an actual play?
Kyle.
Kay, is this an actual play or is this a Let's Play or what kind of play is this? Is this a PLAY play? What,
I'm gonna let you just figure that out. The sass is like up here, and I can only work with like this much.
Okay. Well, I don't want to overflow sass, so I'll overflow this intro over to our DM, Derek. Bring us into your awesome campaign, Shade and Cinder.
Love to. Hi, everybody. I'm Derek Sword, once again here with Eberron, Shade, and Cinder. I'll save all my plugs for the end because there's no time like the present. Where we find our players is and our characters is on the Argonth. It is a floating military city slash fortress that is one of the only left from the war. They arrived here earlier in the day, encountered a swarm. Almost a plague of mutated wargs that attacked the Argonth, only to find out that they were being chased out of the misty walls of the Mournland by a gargantuan elemental Hydra. They stood their ground, fought off the Hydra, didn't die, and we're going to pick up from there. So they did meet several people on the Argonth. As Jillian noted, Morag does have a date with a Moorgrave scholar. Romantic or not, she, I think, is going to keep her word. And probably in this session, our characters are going to finally get inside the Mournland, where I had prepared for them a lovely encounter sheet. So we'll roll some D100s here and figure out what's going to happen next. Even I don't know. So we pick up at midday. You all are still on the Argonth, having realized that after encountering this elemental hydra, that maybe a little rest should come your way. It's getting dark at this point. The massive heads of this creature that were lopped off and fell onto the Argonth are being shoved over the side, and the blood of the wargs and the hydra and everything else are being scrubbed down. And before evening falls, the Argonth, while battle damaged as it was before, has a sense of cleanliness to it and has at least removed a lot of the foul-smelling corpses that occupied the deck. So yeah, we'll get to probably Morag last. Is there anything anyone else wanted to do?
I was definitely taking from the Hydra, the head that had bit onto the side. I was grabbing as many samples from that as possible. Also some warg stuff too, maybe some warg junk. You know, you never know when you need like a wrist-powered rocket or something. But no, gross. But definitely taking as much as I can from the Hydra, and then taking it back to a suitable area to study it. Probably on the Morning Star.
Yeah, go ahead and just roll a d20 to see what you got. If you have your alchemist tools, you can add a proficiency bonus to it.
Sure, I will alchemy the shit out of it.
Oh yeah, you did. Okay, yeah, you collect really whatever you want. You're small enough that as these warforged and these soldiers are trying to clean everything up, you're able to kind of weave and bob in and out and collect samples of blood, scales, hair, teeth. I mean, you get a little bit of the eye gunk from one of the Hydra heads, and yeah, you notice with the several heads, because there were two that had landed on the top of the Argonth. They, while you would know Hydra heads are essentially twins, they're supposed to be genetically identical. That's the whole point. These were mutated differently from each other, whereas one head, you noticed that it actually had venom sacs, that had poison glands that it had adapted. The other one actually seemed to have a similar attachment to it, but it was creating an electrical charge, almost that its bite had an electrical element to it, so that each of the heads almost was different while being from the same. And yeah, you have bits and pieces from all of that now.
I am happy that you stated I had the eye gunk, because that's important.
Absolutely.
I like the eye gunk. So, all right, I'll do all that and analyze, and then after that, go and beg and plead. And actually, no, I'll probably go to Cyrus to so I don't have to beg and plead, and ask him to talk to the captain and see if we can't get some diamonds, so we can do some bring him back to life. I don't know. Maybe I'll go with him. Yeah, I'll go with him. Yeah. if he should.
Would we
if he
talk
should.
to the captain about that, or like the head medic of the ship?
I think the captain would be. I mean, start at the top and then work our way down. But he kind of. Look around. He kind of owes us a little bit, right? It looks like we.
Yeah. Sure. Some diamonds would be good.
And we can pitch it as if we find any of his troops very soon after they died, very soon. Then and we can bring them back.
Where was the captain during all of this, Derek?
He greeted you at the end of the battle. If you remember, he had the detachable hand
Oh, the hand,
prosthetic. Yeah, and he did assure you that well, a number of things. You now have a red cloak flag, which flies alongside both your flag of New Sire and your flag of House Cannith. You have, yeah, literally everything that the Cyrus stands against is this poor ship. He also assured you that he would give you all some healing potions.
How about some healing diamonds? For reviving
yeah.
people?
So let's say you find him in the same kind of ready room that you met him in several times before, and you inquire about these diamonds, and he kind of gives you an odd look. We don't exactly keep a lot of treasure on board. This is a military ship.
Your medical crew would probably have them. They're for reviving people.
I see. I'm sure we have a few that we can spare. I'll ask the medical crew and have them deliver them to your ship along with the potions of healing. Is there a number of them that you needed?
As many as they can spare, I guess.
I would say at least 3. So we have one for each Cyrus and I to use on us, and then one in case we come across any of your crew members, your people, and and if we don't use them, like if you want to give us more and we don't use them, I can give them back. We don't care about the diamonds themselves. They're just used to, keep us alive and your people.
I'll see what I can do. Is there anything else I can do for you, gentlemen?
No. I don't think so.
Nope.
High five.
Yeah.
Can we touch your prosthetic hand?
I'm out.
No.
Okay. Then no, there's nothing else you can do for us.
Don't ask people that. That's really inappropriate.
Yeah.
There's my dogs. Kay, is there anything that Remy wanted to do?
She's gonna see if they have like a. Why can't I remember the house that does it? The people that like send the letters and the post and stuff. She's gonna see if they have any post service here.
Yeah, absolutely. So she's just looking to mail a letter, or you're looking to have like instantaneous communication?
Oh, she's just gonna mail a letter. It'd be too sad. She does instantaneous communication.
Yeah, mail delivery is handled by House Orion. On a military ship like this, basically there's not a lot of representation of the dragon-marked houses. It's not like a normal city.
Yeah.
But communication is still something that has to happen for the military, so they still do have a communication kind of, for the soldiers to send letters back home and that sort of thing. And it's, I can't remember the name of the type of soldier that handles that sort of thing, but yeah,
courier.
Yeah, courier, or even like the guy that would like
logistics officer.
Yeah, or like operate the general store. There's my
quartermaster.
Yeah, probably quartermaster is closest to what I'm thinking. But anyway, yes, you meet with them, and they provide you with all the stuff you would need to write a letter.
Okay. She's going to write another letter to her mom, and maybe also one to Prince Orgrev.
Okay.
I'll look for that one in the chat later.
Okay, I'll start. In my downtime, I'll write it and put it in the chat.
We're expecting a full report.
Okay.
Better be real saucy and steamy.
Yeah, days later, Orgrev receives the letter. Your mother doesn't because she's riding a dragon towards the Mournland that she's been tracing your. Yeah. it's very awkward.
Her letter that she sent from Newsire, she paid extra for it to be underhanded and like not addressed to where it was coming from. So I swear to God,
She did. Your mother like smelled the paper and knew
just like Newsire.
She's riding that Pegasus you rescued.
That's right. Yeah. Had to come back sometime. All right. And well, let's get to Morag's very first date with a much older man.
It is undetermined how old Morag is.
That's
Ask
right.
her,
It's unknown.
she doesn't know herself how old she is.
So it begins to get darker. Night falls over this kind of already dark area with this wall of shadow and mist that the Argonauts skirts alongside. But the side that normally had the sun begins to grow darker. The stars begin to come out, and before long, you see Caligo, Castillo, kind of walking the parapets essentially of this floating city. And he sees you and kind of waves you down. Oh, I'm glad that you remembered. I'm glad you didn't flee when the big monster came.
Well, we had intended to leave to do our mission, but as fate would have it, here I am for the night, and I'm all yours.
Well, ditto. I actually really appreciate the company. Not a lot of people like to stay up late. A lot of the soldiers, they get to bed at a certain time, and you go to the soldiers on watch, and you're like, well, let's watch the stars, and they normally ignore you. So I really appreciate the company. It's tough being on a ship where you're not a military person.
I can imagine. I myself watch things that are a little bit closer to us, the moons. But you should teach me about the stars.
Oh, I certainly could. And he actually takes you to a part of the ship where he has a telescope set up. And over the course of an hour and a half, he points out several of the constellations and explains why they're important to him and important to both story and mythology, and kind of talks about his theories for the way that the night sky is formed and changes. It's very nice. You can tell that he's really passionate about this sort of thing. And go ahead.
Ask him later on as we go. I'm like, I wonder if you'd be willing to share some other information or knowledge with me other than the stars.
Of course, it's I am a scholar. It is my sworn duty to share and impart all the knowledge that I have onto those that wish to learn.
And I pull out my spell book, and I'm like, any spells that you think would be useful to me in the Moorland that would help me come back in one piece?
Oh, sure. Oh, yeah, I got a couple of spells. I hear it might be a little useful. And he kind of flips through a couple of the pages. He's looking at some of your artwork. That's really good. It's very detailed. It's very impressive. Well, that one's saucy. Yeah. Into
Yes,
that.
I like to record the true nature of people, and people are usually a little bit saucier than they pretend to be.
Sorry, give me 1 second. My wife is about to leave for work.
Oh. He has a wife?
She's listening to all this go down?
I slap him.
I'm so sorry.
You cad.
Whoa, let's keep the stream PG-13.
Caligo has 4 wives.
Oh,
Heard all of that.
That was some PDA. Like
It's my
Right.
5-year anniversary, people. My wife has to work and I'm doing this. Okay, happy anniversary to my very lovely wife, who's going to go be a nurse right now. So, absolute hero. Okay,
Yes.
Yes.
we're just playing make believe. She's really
Kiss,
doing it.
Kiss
Yeah.
your hero. You kiss that hero.
I will. Yeah,
Yes.
she's gonna Hercules me, and I don't know what that means.
Yeah.
Anyway, yes. So Caligo, recognizes that you're looking to learn some spells, and takes you to the library that he's kind of created.
What a saucy date going
I
to the
know.
library.
Stargazing in the library. Yeah, it's hot for some people. Yeah, he's got a very sexy librarian look to him. You know, he's got like stockings up to his horn rim glasses.
It's all the way up his robes. You can't even see him.
Yeah, it hides the blue veins in his legs.
Cool.
You asked for that. Yeah, and he kind of goes through several of the books that focus more on arcane knowledge and spell crafting. And yeah, he shares with you, he's like, well, I do know that I don't know exactly where you're going, but I do know that you're looking potentially for something magical. So I think that the spell Identify should be very helpful. I know that there are a lot of strange, weird locked doors and places that are hard for normal folk to get. And it's not a bad thing to have an extra set of hands. So I think that Unseen Servant would benefit you as well. And I don't remember the third one that I told you I was giving you.
Leoman's tiny hut.
And it's always nice to have a place to take a break. And I always like a nice tiny hut that's in a separate piece of magical. It's I don't know how it works, but you get a nice little roof over your head where things can't eat you for a minute. So yeah, I don't know who Leomund was, but yeah, he's got a little hut.
Well, I appreciate it.
I appreciate you. I appreciate the companionship, and it's nice to have someone who wants to learn something that doesn't have to do with killing people.
Yeah, this is true, but killing people is also useful sometimes.
Oh, it's fantastic. I mean, don't get me wrong. I kill people all the time.
Yeah, I'm sure you do.
Yeah.
So I got what I wanted.
Do you need any fresh blood? I got some off of some of the soldiers that died.
I actually would love some fresh blood.
Oh yeah.
Wait, I'm looking at is. You're not a warlock, are you? I thought you were a wizard.
I dabble.
Oh.
Let me put it this way: my soul isn't entirely mine anymore.
You.
You know, sometimes you just want to take a short rest to get your spell slots back. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, I mean.
I don't have time to be sleeping for 8 hours.
I want out of this him to like sell the rest of his soul to Morag so she can like be an actual hag now.
Yeah. By the way, are you buying? I got like a. I think. Oh, let me check my books. I sold 10% to. Yes, up. I sold 20.
This is news to Morag. She didn't know that she could go halvesies.
You gotta haggle them demons. They'll take whatever they can get.
I don't know if I would want to compete with a demon for the rest of your soul, though. They're very formidable.
Oh, demons are only part of who I sold it to. I sold a little bit to a fairy king once, and so I guess like what is it? 13% of me is gonna be dancing for all eternity at some point. It's fine. I like dancing.
I like you a lot. You're a very interesting person.
Thank you. Well,
maybe if I come back, we can have another date.
That would be lovely. I would very much appreciate that. And in the meantime, if there's anything at all that I can do for you or your friends, just yell really, really loud, because I'm hard of hearing.
I take my sickle out and I slice off a bit of my hair and I give it to him and I'm like, if you scry, I won't deny it. And I wink.
All right. And he takes out a little knife from his belt and cuts off like a bit of his beard and hands it to you. He goes, "Yeah, it's a two-way street, huh?"
All right. I put that in my component pouch.
Little do you know, this is actually how Jillian and I's first date went.
Oh.
Yes.
Is that why the head shaved? It's just
Mhm.
been a slow process of
Yeah.
getting hair.
She has all of my hair.
Yeah.
Uses it to cast various curses on me.
It's a very weird gift of the Magi. She never bought you the comb, but you just keep gifting hair.
Mhm.
I'll write down Caligo,
Yeah.
which I did look up means cloud, but I couldn't remember his last name.
Yeah,
Right?
actually, I can't remember what I even translated it to, so I'm gonna look that up real
I
quick.
might have written it down. Questio.
Estio.
Yeah, Kestia.
Questio with a Q.
Yeah.
Whatever that is, I couldn't remember to look that up. But his first name means cloud, right?
I think it means obscured questions.
Oh.
Yeah, or
okay.
it
Yeah.
might even mean like
It meant, like,
mist.
It meant like misty or foggy or something.
Yeah.
Like that. Like,
Yeah. Oh, question of the mist because he explores the Mournland and the
Okay.
Mist Wall. That's what.
Yeah.
Okay. That's what it was.
I think he was born to
So
do
many layers to this onion.
he's
I love-
literally born for this. His parents are just like, we know.
We know what you're gonna do with your
We're,
life.
we're giving him a path, and he
Yes,
is
he was-
sticking
Maybe-
to it.
He was
Maybe
born 2
one of
weeks
his-
ago in a Word document.
Patrons gave it to him. Maybe it's not his born name.
There you go.
I do have one other thing to do in the morning once like the general population is up and around
Sure.
before we set out.
Okay. So yeah, are you all sleeping on the Morning Star, or are you taking advantage of the barracks?
Amy's gonna stay in the Morning Star.
Cyrus will probably stay in the barracks. He's gonna stay and help the wounded as much as he can.
Sure.
And then like he'll just pass out in the barracks. He's used to those sort of arrangements.
Sure.
Yeah, I'm gonna finish working. I did want to stick with Cyrus, but I think I really want to finish examining this shit while we have the chance before we get into certain death territory.
Cyrus would probably encourage you to do that, since whatever you find out might end up helping us down the road.
Oh, dude, level 9 is so good. I'm in. Yep, I'll go back up and finish that.
And is Morag just walking around all night, or is she kind of posting up?
Yeah, well, I mean, like it probably took us a few hours to just transcribe the spell. So the rest of the morning, does he have aspect of the moon? Is he staying up, or does he fall asleep?
He does have to take at least a cat nap. Yeah.
Okay. I'm waiting. I kind of poke around till I find out where Bara would be, so I can meet her in the morning. The Warforge.
Okay.
Ranger.
Yeah, I will say that, especially if Morag is kind of just wandering the Argonth at night, you do see a number of kind of night guard who they use Everbright lanterns to kind of almost in a spotlight sort of way to kind of watch for anything coming out of the Mournland. And you're not sure as you're kind of walking around. You think you hear the sound of yelling, screaming. Maybe it's distant, and you can't really determine if it's the wind, but it also does seem to be coming from the wall of mist and fog. And yeah, morning does come, and Bara is very evident. She kind of calls the awake alarm, and the movement on a military ship is very quick. It's very in unison. Everybody kind of wakes up and gets to what they're supposed to do all at the same time. And you see Bara kind of walking the top deck and shouting out orders here, orders there. And she's a larger warforged as well, wearing red cloak. She's easy to spot.
I say, Bara, do you have a moment?
Yes. Morag, what can I do for you?
We are heading into the Mournlands imminently, and it has been inferred that you may have lost some of your friends or soldiers there that we might come upon. Can you tell me truthfully, do you want them back?
Yes, of course. I hope that they will all return. They are not just my soldiers, they are my friends.
I have a spell that might help us find them, but it will be greatly enhanced if you had something of them that I could take and use as a component to this spell. An item, a personal effect, part of their possessions that could help me connect to them more.
I might have something. You have to understand that soldiers share much of what they have. But yes, I believe I do have something. And she says, I will find you before you leave. I need to return to their barracks, and I believe that I will have a personal item from one of my soldiers.
Thank you. It can only help both of us.
Of course.
All right. I go back to the Morning Star.
Cool. All right. Anything anybody else wanted to do?
I probably need to roll to control Hans.
Oh yeah.
You do.
Can we say that you gotta wrestle him into submission every morning?
If that's what you want to imagine in your fantasy.
Every morning you have to
That's what
wrestle
Morag
him.
thinks happens.
Yes. If you win, he submits. If you don't, he just tries to run.
Yes.
So he needs a DC 16 Wisdom save. He did not make it.
Ah.
He belongeth to me still.
All right. Okay. So you've all made it back to the Morning Star. Remy, actually, when you were on the Morning Star, it's surprising when you wake up because there's something evidently different. You did, notice that there were probably some soldiers aboard. There were people who were bringing on the different supplies that you all had requested, which, by the way, are you have 8 greater healing spells, or sorry, potions, greater healing potions, or potions of greater healing, however it's worded. So there are technically 2 for each of you, and you were also gifted 4 diamonds. But the main thing that Remy, you would notice is that on the top deck of the ship, on the actually near the stern, has been placed a sizable, but sizable for your ship, but still fitting in a way, a ballista, a magical ballista, which you would recognize from being similar to, but even smaller than the ones that were helping you fight the Hydra. And
Oh.
yeah, and Bara comes to your ship now, and she finds Morag and kind of all of you standing together. She says, Morag, I again appreciate you requesting this, and she holds out a small clockwork bird, just in the palm of her hand. This belonged to one of my soldiers. His name was 32. He preferred a numeric designation, where some of us prefer names. 32 cherished this bird very much, seeing it as something like him but not. And perhaps you will be able to find 32. He was the leader of a platoon that I sent in that never returned.
Hopefully, I'll be able to bring both of these back to you.
I would appreciate that. And she says, to the rest of you, she notes that you've been given the healing spells and the diamonds. Requisition orders came in for these items. They have been placed into your cargo hold. We also, in our thanks, have given you a red cloak flag, which she notes in your flagpole, and have also, we also wanted to give you a way to protect yourselves in the Mournland, and so we gave you a thunder ballista. It fires thunderbolts, so you do not need to reload as a normal ballista would with a wooden and metal bolt, but it fires energy instead. So if one of you would like to use that, you can defend your ship in some way. These smaller Pegasus ships were never meant to carry too much firepower, but we noticed something was missing when you docked, and this should complete the overall look.
Thank you
Damn.
very
Have
much.
Midge check that out, I guess.
Thing would put me on my ass. I think we should probably give it to someone who can't normally shoot off the side. So like Whistler.
Whistler might be able to use that very well.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So-
Whistler looks to all of you and says, I was going to volunteer, but yes, absolutely. I don't have any way to fire from anywhere. I only have these melee weapons. So yes, I will be your gunner. And just in case any of you do want to use it, it is in the handouts. It is labeled as the Mourning Star Ballista.
Sick.
And yeah, it does fire. It fires thunderbolt essentially. So y'all can feel like Zeus.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
And yeah, so you guys have, I think, everything that you need at this point. Time to go into the Mornland.
Oh God.
Yes.
Yeah,
before,
I'm anxious.
before everyone gets on the ship, Cyrus stops everybody. He says, "All right, gang, this is it. The point of no return. If you cross this threshold and come onto the ship, you're going to the Mornland. It's not too late to back out. You can stay on the Argonth and find your way back home. But if you're coming, it has to be for the right reasons. Midge, I'll release you from my service if you don't want to go. And I'll write you a letter of introduction to my father, and he'll make sure that you have a lab at our estate to work on for as long as you'd like. This is probably a suicide mission. I wouldn't ask my soldiers to do this. Volunteers only."
Pondas is standing behind you. I'm already on the ship. Can I cross that?
It's too late. It would ruin the image I kind of had going, Pondus. You already crossed it. You're in.
Fuck.
Fuck. Yeah, no, I'm with you. I'm with you till the end of this. Should all of you die, I'm gonna run like I'm out. I'm out. But I mean, I'm gonna try not to be out, and try to make sure everybody comes back. We got diamonds. Woo! So
Cyrus, we'll clasp your hand and welcome you aboard the ship then.
oh, ow, yeah. Mm-hmm. Yep, that's good. That's good stuff.
He looks at Kay, or Ramiel, I should say, and he says, I believe you have a lot of potential, Ramiel. The world is your oyster. You've got an airship. You've got power. You could go anywhere and do anything. Are you sure it's the Mornland that you'd like to go to?
He's going to try to just kind of like slip around him and like to stand right behind him, just like barely like onto the ship and like clear her throat. Well, it is my ship, and you're not getting very far without me or Nathaniel. So I will welcome you onto my ship, Mr. Alderman. Thank you very much.
I guess that means you're in.
He's gonna just turn tail and just like start walking towards the cockpit area.
And finally, Morag, you haven't found your own reasons for doing things. You're doing things because the hags are ordering you, or you feel some sort of national pride to Droam. This isn't the sort of mission they can order you to undertake. It's going to be dangerous. Your odds of survival are low. You should do this for your own reasons, or not at all.
I will do it not because my patrons order it, but because I want to, and I fully expect to outlive all of you in one form or another.
All right, welcome aboard.
Is it accurate that I have Morag as one of the encounters on my sheet?
we can roll a D100 and get a Morag encounter.
No, let me summon Terry. We'll ask him the same questions. No.
Yes. Screw all y'all.
All right, I guess everyone's in.
All right. As deftly as ever, gaining confidence and also experience, Remy inserts Nathaniel back into the Dragon Shard, and once again has powered the Morning Star back into the air, and you fly closer and closer to this wall of shifting smoke and shadow and mist, and after a brief hesitation, the ship has been fully engulfed. Remy, what are you doing?
just talking with Nathaniel because, she's explaining to him. Well, they said sometimes this fog can be weird and get tricky, so we have to make sure we're not shifting or adjusting. We're just going in a straight line, and we have to stay going that way, and eventually we will get through it.
Okay, so you're just shooting for a straight line. You're not trying to angle towards any of the cities that you might want to go to?
Not until they can actually see that they are through the fog.
Okay.
Then she will adjust for the course wherever they decide to be going.
Does Remy have proficiency with vehicles? I'm not sure air vehicles is even an option in 5e, but
there was something I got. I got like the Windwright's intuition, and that gave me like proficiency with like navigator's tools.
okay, yeah. Go ahead and roll a navigator's tools roll.
I don't know how to do that. I don't know
Should
if that
just be a d20 plus proficiency if you have it.
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay.
So plus 4.
Yeah. Let's try that. There you go.
Okay.
Yeah,
so that says...
I have points. I have points I'm going to use.
Okay.
I have vigilance points. I'm going to put 4 on that.
Okay.
Make that a 17.
Gotcha. All right. So yeah, it seems to be, I mean, it's as far as you can tell, the instruments do seem to be accurate. They don't seem to be, as far as you can tell, you're not flying straight into the ground, so your altitude meter seems to be accurate. Your north-south it's still maintaining the same direction. You are still heading east as you had originally planned. But there's nothing really to see. You can't hear anything. Even those of you who might even be on the top deck right now, as you try to like smell, smoke obviously has a very very noticeable smell to it. Even mist, even fog kind of has like that damp smell, but there's nothing that you guys can pick up.
We
Okay.
done gone smell blind.
Yeah, it's like almost all of your senses have shut off. You can see in front of you. You can see, to the end of the ship. You can see anybody moving around, but there's just nothing. There's no sensory information to help you determine where you are, where you're going, or what's around you, if anything. What is everybody else doing right now?
Do I have to roll for panic?
You can, yeah. You can roll a wisdom saving throw.
That's a bonus action.
I'm gonna take my coronavirus mask and put it up over my face and.
Yes, it's a wall made of coronavirus.
Yeah. Oh God. No.
So topical.
I'll never see my friends again.
Cyrus is standing as forward as he can with sword and shield ready.
Okay.
I'll go and stand behind Ramiel, and my eyes will go completely black, and I'll reach out with Eldritch Sight and see what is in front of us. Within 30 feet, I can sense magic to see if there's anything particularly dangerous right in front of us.
You sense nothing.
No magic?
Nothing. Literally, you sense nothing. No magic, no anything. It's almost like your Eldritch Sight isn't necessarily working.
We're going to die.
I'll light up my radiant weapon too and kind of like help beacon our way through. So it sheds bright light in 30-foot radius and dim light 30 more feet after that. I don't know if it helps or not, but it makes me feel better.
Yeah, you're shedding light now, and like I said, there still are Everbright lanterns kind of placed on the ship at different intervals, but it's almost like when you put your headlights on in heavy fog, the light is almost reflected back at you. So whereas it would normally go 30 feet, it's barely going 10 at this point.
I'm gonna use my magical tinkering and grab like a loose whatever we have laying around, a loose piece of metal or a stick or something, and light it up and just kind of throw it overboard and walk over to the end, throw it overboard, and watch it go down to the ground and see if we can see if I can see anything as it goes down.
It drops about 10 feet, and then you lose total sight of any light.
It's got like complete obscurement or whatever.
Yeah. Rami, can we go through this stuff faster?
I'm taking it as fast as I can.
Yeah, to that point, how fast is the Mourning Star going right now? It has a maximum speed of 45 miles an hour, and it can travel anywhere between that and 0.
Probably going like 40 then.
Okay.
75. Tell Nathaniel, eat his Cheerio or eat his Wheaties.
Hit the nos, Nathaniel.
Yeah, we need
The
to go.
nos.
Bro. Yeah. Drink that red juice, Nathaniel. We need to go.
Kyle.
I don't
Red
know.
juice is officially canon in
Yeah.
this world now.
Yeah.
Okay. Pondus is actually in the cockpit area, and when he hears Morag say we're all going to die, he's got a rather large one of his tomes that he's kind of hugging, and he like even hugs it tighter.
He goes super pale.
Yeah. No, I mean, his knees are shaking. He's very scared. But he actually looks to Remy and Morag and goes, I'm really trying to be brave. I'm very, very sorry that I've been a bit of a coward these past few fights. Just don't die.
Being brave is only understanding what there is to be scared of, Mr. Pondus. It's okay to be scared. You can be brave and scared at the same time.
I appreciate that. I just don't know what to be scared of in here because I don't know what's in here, and I just have this really bad fear of being eaten or set on fire or strangled or stabbed or clubbed to death or poisoned or
Mr. Pondus,
electrocuted.
you're surrounded by friends, Mr. Pondus. We were going to take care of each other.
I got lit on fire and almost eaten in the last couple days, and I'm okay.
Well, that's great for you, okay? Mister, I wear all the heavy armor and have lots of hit points.
That's it.
I wanted to say that I'm sorry, and I'm going to try my best to not run, because I know that if I run, something will eat me. Okay.
That's
Just,
very wise.
Stay somewhere where the safest part of the ship is, whatever that is.
Yeah, it's not
Safer
on this
together.
ship. I suppose. Okay, I'm going to go below deck and just try and not think about this. I'm going to go just try and think some happy thoughts. If you need anything, just
You might be
Let me
the
know.
only scholar who's ever made it into the Mourning.
oh yay.
You might become the most famous scholar on all of Khorvaire after this.
I want to be the only scholar who made it out of. That's my claim to fame.
We'll see.
Yeah, nobody remembers the guy who didn't get to the moon.
Hmm.
I'm gonna hand Cyrus a elixir that I just, actually I had whipped up this morning.
What'd it do?
Well, when you take it, it makes you
Immune to all damage.
forever. Well, for a minute, it gives you add a D4 to attack rolls and saving throws.
Oh, it's like a potion of bless.
Yes, but with what I found from the Hydra, I added a little extra spice into it. So
It's a spicy potion now?
it's a spicy one, all right.
Got the freak in it.
Yep, got some freak. It gives all my elixirs now give 2d6 plus 5 temporary hit points whenever you drink them.
Ooh.
Awesome.
That is spicy.
Yes. So I got cocktails. Woo! So yeah, just take that. It'll bolster your resolve for a little while, and also make you harder to hit, I guess, or make you hit easier and harder to hit. Good luck. Yeah, you'll figure it out.
Thanks. Open cap. Ingest. Think I can handle that part of it.
Yep. Yep.
As Ramiel drives, perhaps we should all talk about where to point this ship once we do get through this soup of nothingness.
Oh yeah, that's right. We gotta figure out which of the cities we're going to.
I'm gonna
It
stop
seems
calling
like there's
it the
three
fog. I'm
options.
gonna start calling it the soup. This
Soup.
is the morning soup.
It seems like there's three options. Making. What else was
Estin
there?
and Metrol.
Edston and Metrol. Yeah, so I'd say we just put it to a vote.
Well, do we know which one would be more beneficial to our mission?
Well,
Lord Merrick's-
Eston would be the most beneficial to Merrick's. It seemed like Metrol would be the most beneficial to Prince Orgrev.
and
if-
making would be the best to figure out what happened and
Yeah.
what caused all this.
Which Cyrus would say is probably the most beneficial to the people of Khorvaire.
And Lord Merrick's did want to know whether or not definitively his house was to blame if we find out
Cyrus wanted that. I don't know if Lord Merrick's would be down for that, but Cyrus did say when he signed up that if he did uncover evidence that House Cannith had something to do with it, he would not keep it a secret. He would reveal it to the world. So, like, Merrick's knows that that is a possibility.
I think perhaps Estin or Metrol would be best for us.
I'd prefer to go to making, but like I said, I think we should just put it to a vote.
Yeah, but making's the ground zero of the cataclysm. Like if
Yeah.
we don't know whatever's coming, whatever's patrolling around in here is probably way worse at ground zero.
Yeah, probably.
And isn't making the farthest away from where we're at right now?
Metro is.
Metrol is okay.
Metro is the capital.
Yeah, but it's on the very east borderland of the Mournland.
I mean, wasn't
Actually, to be fair, they all are kind of equidistant from where you are.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought one was exponentially farther.
I mean, you'd either from where you are, if you have your maps, it is between basically Arthon Keep and that little mountain range next to Kenrun. You're about center between there. So you have Metrol, Eston, and Making are all just about the same amount of distance, which would be about what's that? 300 miles.
Okay.
Yeah, either north, south, or east.
all right.
I
So
mean,
our
if
original.
we-
Oh, go ahead.
Oh,
No, you're
if we
scared. You're scared. Go ahead.
discover- if we discover the origin of the Mourning, and possibly being very generous, discover how to stop its spread, we can hit these places on the way back with little or less danger to us.
I think that's probably doing our mission is certain suicide. I don't know how you multiply certain suicide by
Suicide-ier.
yeah. There we go. I think just one. We should probably pick one and stick with it, and then get the fuck out. Excuse my language. Sorry. You're just all tall, and I gotta swear it for you to hear me. And maybe we should just pick one.
Yeah, let's just take a vote. And I would assume Whistler and Pondus could also vote, Derek, depending on how you feel about that.
We'll see how this vote goes. Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
So I'll vote for making.
Morag also votes for making.
I vote Eston because our original mission was for House Kenneth. Or yeah, Kenneth. Kenneth.
Can
Kenneth.
Yeah, Kenneth.
House
Corneth. Corneth. Too many K's and C's and S's. Okay, Kenneth. Yeah.
Ramiel, where would you like to go?
Um. Well, I suppose just for the sake of keeping it as least spread as possible, I would also think we should go to Eston.
Okay. So it's tied. So Pondus and Whistler need
It is
to vote,
tied.
probably.
All right. Okay. I am going to actually roll for this. I'm going to roll a d4, and I'm going to roll a d4 for Pondus, and I'm going to roll a d4 for Whistler, and we'll see. We'll consider Metrol not an option. Of course. Okay.
It's still tied.
It's still tied.
Do we have anybody else who can vote on this show?
So I guess that
Ahab with
Nathaniel.
Ahab and Nathaniel.
Nathaniel can vote.
You have Ahab, Nathaniel, and Jillian can summon a demon.
Yeah, I'll Terry.
Pons didn't get to vote either.
Yeah.
Let's keep going down the list.
Everybody has their own little fucking double vote.
Okay, I'm just gonna go ahead.
Look,
and
I'll flex. All right, I'm with you, Mr. Cyrus. I'll flex, and we'll go to, I'll go to wherever you're going. That's what I agreed to in the first place. So I'm not gonna argue the point. I was just merely looking after our primary objective.
Well,
and
I'm glad that you spoke for yourself and voted, but since it's tied, it would help if you flexed your vote.
Here we go. Okay. Nate, heads or tails?
Heads.
it's neither. Damn it.
Looks like we're one. Yeah.
It was on the edge.
Looks like we're one to making.
Okay, making it is.
Okay.
If we get through the fog without dying or becoming lost for all of eternity.
Ah.
Yeah. You guys are preparing for something that's never gonna happen.
All right.
So that's the joke. We're actually just gonna start having like oral and visual like
Now that we
hallucinations in the
have-
fog.
So she's going straight. What would, if we decided to go to making, would we still be going straight or would we angle somewhere else?
Southeast.
Okay.
Yes.
Would you like me to do some augury to help us through the fog now that we have some definitive plans?
I still think we should try to get all the way through the fog and then start turning the direction we're
Well,
supposed to
let's
be headed to.
see if going straight is a wheel or a woe.
Okay.
I start taking off my clothes.
And you got a jar of dirt now. You have a
Yeah.
whole jar of dirt. You got to sweep it up and put it back in there, but you got a jar of dirt.
Yeah, so I reach into the bag of holding and I pull out my jar and I dump it on the ground. And I take my bow out and I lie them in a circle. And I get naked and I get in the middle of the circle. And
I imagine Mourning is doing this in her room.
No,
there's
she's
no
probably
room.
right in the middle of this shit.
Yeah. Yeah.
This is probably in the
It's not
cockpit, I imagine. Like,
Right?
It's her own private room below decks. But yeah, let's go ahead and strip down in
Yeah.
front of everybody.
Yeah,
it's
no,
Morag.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's Mourning.
Yep.
Pondus
I
is
look-
just like staring straight ahead.
I look around like, is anyone offended by this? And like, with obvious, like, if someone says yes, they'll pay for it.
I look-
Okay. So, all right. So I get in there and I'm like, we plan to go straight for the next 30 minutes at minimum because this is what augury does. It tells me wheel or and woe within the next 30 minutes. What is the outcome of this decision?
You get the message that it is positive. It is a wheel.
Okay, going straight and we'll not die. All right. So I dismantle everything, put my dust back in my jar, seal that up, put my clothes on very last, and then I'm like, according to the grannies, if we keep going straight, we will not die a horrible death. So
Within the next 30 minutes.
yes. So hopefully we get out of this soup.
You hear that, Pondus? You can relax for 30 minutes.
Oh, that's wonderful. Great. Okay. Okay, so 30 minutes passes without any issue. Remy, go ahead and roll another d20 with your proficiency bonus.
Okay.
Confidence.
I'm confident. There you go.
Okay. All right. You continue to fly straight. It's at this point that you notice that several of the instruments, um, you might take like just a slight tilt with the ship. And the instrument doesn't reflect that. You kind of test it out a little bit. You take just a little dive, little rise. Doesn't reflect that either. And it seems like the instruments themselves have frozen in
Oh, no.
place. But you continue straight. Nathaniel helping to guide you as best as he can determine that straight is. Um, all right. Where is everybody at this point on the ship?
As forward as I can be, with my bright sword and my shield ready.
Okay. So the very front of the ship now has this ballista there. So you're standing kind of behind that, or have you kind of got under the ballista and
No, just behind it, I guess. And I
Okay.
think Whistler's probably manning it, I would assume.
yes.
The cockpit like down in the ship, and then the top deck is where the ballista is.
So the cockpit is raised just slightly above where the ballista will be. The ballista is in the very front, and then the cockpit is kind of raised above that so it can see over the top of the ship.
Okay. So I'll be on that where I'll be near the ballista too, but
Okay.
I want to be able to see Ramiel if she needs help.
How long is? Didn't they say that this was like a membrane that's only lasts for a little bit? This like unseeable, awful thing that we're going through right
That's
now.
what you were instructed. Yeah, is that the wall ends eventually.
Huh? I thought it was a lot smaller than this. I'll be up by the cockpit with Rami, like
Okay.
right standing right outside the cockpit, but so that I can hear her and also see what's going. Middleman. I'll be the middleman.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Find my. All right. Those of you at the front of the ship, you think that you start to see a light breaking through the smoke for a second. You see it for just a moment, and then it goes away. Remy, you see this too. And then you see it just briefly to your left. And you hear Nathaniel's voice in your mind, and he says, I think that there is something nearby. I cannot tell.
What kind of something? A living creature something, or an object something, like a mountain?
Something that is moving.
How close could I Eldritch sight the light?
Yeah, you can Eldritch sight.
I look at where the light was and see if I sense any magic from it.
You do. You sense elemental magic.
How high up are we, Derek?
Yeah, does the
Well,
bench
like
can
how
stop
we,
working,
I
right?
imagine we started at least at the height of the Argonth and like left
Yeah.
at that height, and Rami hasn't necessarily tried to go any higher or lower, so
Yeah, you probably for
least-
safety's sake left at the height of the tower from where you
Yeah.
disembarked. So
Yeah.
you're a few hundred, maybe 600-700 feet in the air.
Okay, that's better. That's better than what I thought.
Yeah, as far as you can tell,
we're not like
that's where you
right
left
on
at.
the ground.
Well, are you?
No, well,
no, you're not. Maybe you are. No.
unless.
So I tell them, I'm like, I haven't been able to sense anything in this up until now, and there's some sort of primordial or elemental magic out there.
Nathaniel says he senses something in the fog.
It's
Are we still
probably fine.
Are we still within our half an hour? We're gonna live. We're gonna live.
No, we're past it.
Ah, shit. All right.
Just as Midge says, "Oh shit," the morning star breaks through the cloud cover, and instantaneously the light pours over all of you. It's dim, but there's more than just what would be sunlight. There's this burst of arc light, essentially, and I'm going to need I guess that would be Cyrus, everybody who's at the front of the ship. So I think that was Cyrus, Morag, and Whistler's in the seat, so he can't really make it. But make a dexterity saving.
Oh boy.
Wow.
Is
I'm
my
feeling
ship already gonna be broken?
extra nimble today. So, Jillian, you get a +4 for being next to me.
Ooh, so 19.
Okay. So the ship breaks through this cloud cover, and just as it does, all of you who are looking out towards the sky now see this massive bird made of this almost iridescent light. It's these fluctuating colors of pulsating energy. And just as the ship breaks through the clouds, this bird kind of scrapes the top of the ship with its wings, and it is going to arc light touch. So let's see, Jillian, you were going to take what was that 29 points of lightning damage?
Oh boy. How much
Or-
does Morag take?
Or half if you half if she saves because she has my aura. So
Oh,
Okay.
yeah.
so we both take half.
I'm not even sure it's a half thing. I think it's
Oh,
just
Boy.
yeah.
Oh yeah,
let's
it
see.
doesn't say. So
See
we
that.
dodged it.
Yeah. Okay. So the you do see that there's almost like an electrical scar which is left in the wood of the morning star as this large bird kind of tries to dodge out of the way of you, and continues to fly towards the distant horizon. It doesn't seem to be engaged with you at all, and now your ship flies above essentially what is a wasteland. As you look, you see that there's plumes of dust that float through the sky. Smoke seems to be everywhere. The ground below you is blackened sand and charred dirt. There doesn't seem to be any semblance of life, let alone, especially not animal or fauna, and especially not flora. There doesn't seem to be any plants or sign of water. The sky is clear, but at the same time blocked in a way. There doesn't seem to be any clouds, but there's also not clear daylight. It's day. You know that by the amount of light in the sky and the sun, but there's like a haze over everything, almost
Really
that you're.
diffused.
Yeah, that's a good. There's not a lot of color here. Everything is blacks, grays, browns, very desolate. Pretty much as far as the eye can see. And you all have made it into the Mournland.
That
Welcome
thing
to
was
was Sire.
that thing was gorgeous. Was that thing gorgeous? That was gorgeous, I think.
Terrifying, I guess. Also,
Wow, I'm glad we didn't collide with it. That was lucky.
all right, set our heading southwest.
And we will adjust.
We're going to look for the glass plateau next.
And
Yep.
you do notice that your instruments have started working again.
Oh, thank goodness.
Yes.
How far off the ground are we? Can we like see down there anything interesting?
Yeah, you can see far below. Go ahead and, if you're looking over, go ahead and make perception checks.
13.
Ugh. I think I'm looking back at the bird.
Pretty.
It is pretty.
So pretty.
All right, so just Cyrus and Morag are looking. So yeah, you look below. Yes, where you would be right now, there's not a lot to see. You look towards the distance, and there almost seems to be maybe a civilization, maybe the remnants of a city. You can't quite tell. If it is a city, it's not a very big one, and you would know, especially as a soldier that once fought against Sire, it's probably the remains of a city in the distance, and this is looking directly east. As you turn southwest, there's not really a lot to see where you
So
are.
probably Calazart, if we're looking at the map, or
You,
what
yeah,
remains
you
of
would
it.
probably think that that was what remains of Calazar.
Yeah, I'm mostly just looking for the Warforged patrols. So any sign of them.
Yeah, you don't see anything here, but that does bring us to our next thing. As I mentioned before, I do have some lovely encounter tables here. So these are going to basically establish what happens while you all are in the Mournland. So I'm going to have everybody roll a D100, and we'll go from there. So that way it's not anybody's fault what happens. It's all your fault.
That's a nice way to.
Just don't tell us whose is whose.
I got
That's
a
right.
10.
That's a nice way to put it.
I got a 20. That's double what you got.
Double worse.
Add it
Yeah,
up.
Sire-
Oh, they're all bad.
I have a way of possibly checking in on one of these Warforged. To see if he's still alive, at least.
I wish I was down there. Are you saying
Or,
that to, like, are you coming
Yeah,
up
who are you
to say
saying that
that?
to?
Yeah.
Cyrus.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, if you can help us locate them, you might as well give it a try.
It's a scrying spell. It will take about 10 minutes. And then we can see if he's alive. I don't think it'll work. Or if he's dead, I don't think it'll work at all. But it's a possibility that it will fail as well. But we can at least try. I have something that'll help me give us better
We're gonna-
success.
Peek in on him committing some sort of barbaric ritual in the name of the Lord of Blades.
Yeah, we'll see. I don't know, let me pull up Scry. It'll take me.
Rami, she's doing something. I hope she's not getting naked again. That was.
Yeah, I don't.
Did you ever
think...
put your clothes back on?
Yes, I did.
Yeah, she's not just roaming around nude.
I'm not. I do not have to get naked for this particular spell, but I am
Unless you
gonna
wanted
pull
to.
out my my
Every spell.
augury bones.
You don't
Eldritch
have
Blast.
to get naked for it, but you want to.
Yeah. That old man must have changed her.
And basically, I'm just gonna look at these bones for 10 minutes and see if anything works. So they will need to make, should they be alive and well, they will make a save against me, but they will have a modifier because I have that bird. So I take the bird out and I put it in the middle of the circle of bones, and then I stare at that and see if I can connect to this Warforged, whose name is 32. Is that what his name
Chuck.
was? Yeah, 32.
You're muted, Derek.
Okay, so wisdom saving throw?
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Sora Teresa, Hag of Foresight, help me find this individual, this soul in the darkness.
Okay, so, let's see. So rolled a 9, so I'm guessing that's not good enough to beat.
And he gets a -2 because I have a possession of his.
All right. So you create an invisible sensor within 10 feet of the target. You can see and hear through the sensors if you were there. Sensor moves with the target remaining 10 feet. Okay. And you cannot see invisible objects. All right. Yeah. Your sensor appears near 32. You actually know that it's 32 because the marking, the numerical marking, is on the breastplate of this Warforged. The Warforged seems to be among several others that all seem to be armed and are marching through a similar wasteland to where you are now. You don't really see any clear markers of anything. but they all seem to be armed with spears, shields, and they are carrying a banner. One of them in the back. There actually do seem to be two titans, which you fought before, along with this patrol, which is what you assume it to be. They seem to be looking for something. And as you follow 32,
What's
you
on the
notice
banner, Derek?
Wait,
the banner shows. Go ahead.
I'm getting something. And I start saying what I'm saying.
The banner shows a face of a warforged on a field of red, with several blades kind of featured behind it.
That's not the red cloak banner, Derek.
Derek.
And you watch. Morag watches as the patrol 32 is signaled by another warforged up ahead, and you watch as this patrol engages with several trolls that are not quite right. They seem to be changed or altered. Not the trolls that Droam might have, but these things seem broken and mutated in a way that you're not familiar
Only
with.
imagine what that jerky tastes like.
Ooh.
Cinnamon.
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
It's actually very nice.
Right, it's mutated to taste good.
No, it's not like real like cinnamon sticks. It's like big red gum cinnamon. So it's just it's awful.
Baked cinnamon.
That hot mint.
The Warforged is alive. He's looks like he might be a defector like we suspected.
Well, at least we don't have to rescue them, but hopefully we don't run into them. Is that what we're thinking? We don't want to engage them?
Unfortunately, there's no way to know where they are, just that they're here in the morning somewhere.
Okay. Well, if we do run into them, we should consider them hostile.
I fear so. Alright. Where's that?
Something's happening.
All right.
Hopefully nobody could see invisibility that's with them. ... And...
Is that how scrying works?
Yeah, if someone has true sight, they can see my sensor. But it's fine. It's fine. Everything's fine.
All right. So you are you're all headed towards making right now. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Remy, how are you flying right now? Are you going to fly straight there? I will say that there's also a mountain range, which is off to the west, essentially your right at this point. You could skirt that if you want, and then stay close to that. Are you maintaining height? I guess. How is the Morning Star flying?
Rami wants to keep a pretty high altitude. Doesn't want to be too close to the ground. And she kind of, if is any mountains or remaining structures somewhere, she really kind of wants to stay away from them. She wants to make the most direct path with keeping as much distance between the ship and physical objects as possible.
Okay. All right. So you make your way towards making. You are kind of scanning over this desolate wasteland. There doesn't seem to be a lot of movement below. Is anybody kind of keeping watch over the side?
Mm-hmm.
I'll be looking ahead from the front deck still.
I'm still standing up by the cockpit. I'm gonna say, Rami, why are you turning towards Eston? That's crazy. That's crazy. Keep going.
Hey, don't. I considered it, but I'm not gonna be that asshole. Rami's not quite that chaotic.
Blame it on-
we are.
Blame it on.
I considered it.
Blame it
I
on
considered
Pondus.
it.
Blame it on Pondus.
Pondus was my navigator. He told me the wrong place. No, I considered doing it, but I'm not that rude.
I'm still standing up by the cockpit, kind of the go-to, watching Cyrus and Morg down below, or Cyrus, Morg, and Whistler down below, and standing outside to kind of be up here with Rami and Pondus.
Okay. Anybody who is on the deck, I guess that would be Morag and Cyrus. Go ahead and make perception checks again.
Ugh, I am
Oh,
not
yeah.
perceptible. Perceivable.
Perceivable.
So Morag, you're kind of keeping an eye on the ground below, and like I said, there doesn't seem to be a lot of movement or anything below. Cyrus, as you're looking out towards the horizon, something kind of catches your eye. It doesn't seem to be physical, but something seems to be shifting through the mist around you. And as you kind of listen, you can hear the sound of flapping, almost like wings in a way. But they don't sound, they don't sound like a bird's wings. They don't sound even leathery like bat wings. There's a crackle to them, almost like they're
Mechanical?
almost like bone.
Hmm. Great.
Are you doing anything?
I can't see anything. I can just hear this. I'm looking around for the source of the noise, I guess.
Yeah, there's nothing that you're picking up with your naked eye, but you can hear something. There's something.
Is it below us?
You can't really tell.
I'll just say, everyone stay on your toes. We could have company again.
Oh man, already?
How long has it been since I cast the scry spell?
It's been about half an hour.
Okay.
Well,
I'm sure it's fine. Everything's fine.
yeah. Shit, I forgot we long rested.
How many baby cries have we heard?
None so far.
Yeah. Oh, no baby.
I was
cries,
told
okay.
there'd be more baby cries going on.
I don't want baby cries.
I was led to believe that
I
it's
want my
just
money back.
Eberron.
I promised.
Went to the moorland and all I got was a stupid baby cry.
It's just like a little music box, like baby screaming.
Ugh.
All right. Cyrus, what's your AC?
20.
Okay. You feel scraping against the back of your armor these long, jagged claws that kind of rake up your back. Even as you look to see what attacked you, you can't necessarily tell what it was. You're going to take 6 slashing damage from that.
Owies.
Owies,
Something
indeed.
wrong? Cyrus, are you okay? Are you injured?
There's
Cyrus
something
just
invisible
owie.
on the deck.
No. I don't think so.
How? I mean, if it's invisible, how would you know that it's not there?
I Eldritch Sight. Do I see any abjuration? What's invisibility? Is that a illusion?
Well,
Yours
it might
magic?
not be magically. It could be like a natural camouflage or something.
You do actually pick up. So, Eldritch Sight picks up just different forms of magic, or is it kind of like you're picking
It's
up?
just detect magic, I think.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay. Oh, that's
yes.
right. That's right.
So
Okay.
I can see a glowing aura around magical items and stuff, and I could tell what school of magic I'm looking at.
Okay. You see a mix of necromancy and
Ooh.
yeah, I guess it would be illusion.
Mm-hmm.
Probably a little transmutation in there too. Everything around here seems to have an aura of transmutation. And actually, I should have mentioned that before. Is this entire realm, this entire country, essentially emanates kind of this almost rainbow. If you imagine that every type of magic has a different color to it, as I've noted here on my cheat sheet, that there does seem to be like almost like an oil slick, like all the colors kind of mixed together at once. But yes, you do notice that there is the aura of something large, winged, and clawed that has an aura of necromancy, transmutation, and illusion, and seems to be kind of coming in for another swipe.
Do you say anything about that?
Yeah. Yep. You're right. There's something here. It's invisible. You're right.
I'll use divine sense. Maybe that'll help.
Yeah, you pick up a fiend. It is a large fiend, and yes, it is absolutely coming in for another attack. And with that, let's roll for initiative.
Mr. Cyrus, I think it's an invisible fiend. I'm gonna use my thing to give him +5 on his initiative.
Oh,
Ooh.
sweet.
Okay,
What is
So I
my-
got 8.
What is my thing? What is my thing? What is my thing? What's it called? What's it called? Flash of Genius. There we go.
Yeah.
There
Flash
we
of genius. Flash of genius at him.
Hey, big boy. Want to see some genius?
Take a look at this big brain.
Yeah. Woo! So
Gross.
smart. So smart. Okay, Flash. There we go. Marked one of them down. Ah.
Hey,
Where's
Derek.
that battle music at?
Oh, yeah. Good call. Sorry, I have to use a separate computer because Roll20 is an asshole.
A little bit.
Oh, great. Now we're going to get kicked off.
Right.
Yeah.
There we go.
As you can tell, we're not sponsored by Roll20.
Hey, Derek, I have a question.
Yeah,
What's the Morning Star made out of? Is it metal or is it wood?
it is both.
Is both? What about like the deck? Like the
The-
floor of the deck?
Yeah, the deck is mostly wood.
Hmm.
Yeah, it's kind of held together with
Fuck.
like metal struts and stuff like that. But yeah, most airships are made with a special type of wood that allows them to fly better.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Okay, so 11 and there was Cyrus, Slur, and Ramiel. And actually, you know what? Because Ramiel, I'm not sure you're going to be able to do much unless you want this ship just
that's.
to take a
If I
nosedive.
if I let go, does it just like start to go? Does it start to go down, or can it like?
If you don't maintain control over Nathaniel, he cannot fly it by himself.
Okay, good to know. Yeah, you don't even have to put me in there if you don't want to.
It's
Do a
okay.
barrel roll.
Could I?
Yeah.
Could I summon like my elementals, like, and still drive? Like, could they go and do stuff for me?
I would say that you could probably do cantrips if you wanted.
Cantrips.
Yeah, I would say that piloting the ship is probably akin to a concentration spell.
Fair.
Hmm.
Fair.
So yeah, you could probably do cantrips. And yeah, you can still pilot the ship in an aggressive way as well. If you wanted to ram it or you know, yeah, barrel roll, try to
Fair.
flip something off the top deck. Yeah.
Like
all are-
Cyrus,
all are-
perhaps?
As if you would like to murder all of your friends and just go away, that's totally fine. All right. Well, actually, surprisingly enough, Pondus is going to be first, and
He was over ready.
Right?
Yeah.
He was poised this whole time.
Freaking out.
Yeah, he had
now-
Fireball just prepped.
Yeah, now I get to find out what spells I gave Pondus, and I think. Let's see. I think okay, clairvoyance probably isn't something that you want. No, that's creating an invisible sensor.
Something I
Um,
want.
Yeah.
Pondus is a better hag than you.
Yeah.
And
Spire.
True Strike probably isn't going to help either. I think that he's going to try and cast Firebolt, and see if he can hit this thing. He's obviously going to have disadvantage on it. Still hits. Okay.
Yeah.
So Pondus fires a wild Firebolt, which grazes something. You hear it connect. You see it connect with something, and for a second, kind of the illusory camouflage of this creature shifts, and you see this large entity made of a skeletal structure, no flesh or muscle, and this gnarled demonic face on it. And it is going to take 11 points damage. All right, and we're at Morag's turn.
Is the creature over the deck of the ship right now, or is it over the air, in the air, over nothing?
It's
Were you
clawed
so-
on my back.
Yeah, where you saw Pondus just hit it, it is in the air. It basically
air.
took a swipe at Cyrus and has maintained flight.
I am going to put my hands up and kind of weave my long fingers around and spin this web of yellow energy that flies forward at this big creature and cast Earthbind on it.
Okay.
And it needs to make a strength saving throw.
Okay, so it's 18.
It has beat my spell DC. So the magical energy loops around it, but it doesn't force it to the ground. Oh, that didn't work, guys. Sorry. It's strong. And that'll be my turn.
Okay. So now it is this creature's turn, and it is going to take a. Well, let's see what it has here. Oh, and actually, it would have had advantage on that saving throw anyway, so it was 23.
Extra succeeded then.
Yes. It is going to take a claw attack towards Pondus, actually.
No!
And then it is going to
Said
take
he'd make it through.
Wow.
which does not hit. And I'm pretty sure Pondus has a better AC than 10, I hope.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
He probably
okay,
has
just
mage
barely.
armor, right?
Shit. Nope. Didn't give him that. I made him very squishy. And then it is going to take a sting attack towards Cyrus.
I can see it now. Kinda.
Yeah.
It not matter. Jesus.
Okay, so go ahead and do a Constitution saving throw.
Wait, did
All of our bad guys roll so well.
did
Okay,
Pondus
I'm
move
super
down there?
constitution-y.
Sorry, what was that, Kyle?
Did Pondus move down there?
Pondus has fired a firebolt at it, so he has engaged with this creature. He is outside of the cockpit.
Okay, so he moved past. Okay, I just wanted to see where he was compared to me. So he moved past me and started coming down on the deck.
Yeah, he is on the top deck. He is within range to fire at this thing as it's kind of flying above you.
Okay.
All right. And then Cyrus, you were going to take 22 points of damage from that. And it is Midge's turn.
I can't see what it's doing to you, but oh god, you really should have drank that potion.
I'm gonna use a reaction real quick and use Radiant Weapon.
Okay.
It needs to make a con save.
A con save for a con save.
My
16.
DC is 16, so it does make it.
Okay.
Yeah, I tried to blind it.
It's invincible!
And it actually does 4 extra damage against me because of my aura, I think, affects fiends as well. So
What?
I'll take an extra 4 damage there. Yep, fiends and undead on melee weapon attacks. Is it?
You're your own worst enemy.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's not just like allies. That's everyone.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it's
Okay.
designed. It's designed for DMs to use that class for.
That, and it's a balancing mechanic, right? Like I get an extra 4 damage on everything I do, and so does my undead companion. Is pretty strong.
That's fair. Okay. So, cool. Then it is Midge's turn.
All right. Well, seeing that they're struggling with an invisible force, and Pondus is in front of me, which is where he needs to be, I will take a few steps down in front of him, kind of look back at Rami and like thumbs up or thumbs down. Is she okay? You good? If I
I'll
go help?
just go help them. Get it off.
Cyrus yells, "Midge, hit him with fairy fire!"
That's not. I'm trying. It's not very. It's unique. It's better than that. Okay, hold on.
It's glitter.
Yeah, it's a fuck glitter bomb. It's way better than fairy
Your
fire.
glitter all over the place, Midge.
Yeah. So I pull out my little tube, one of my little like firework tube, and I pointed it where I'm pretty sure the thing is, and slap the bottom of it, and all this like globule of glitter comes flying out and just kind of disperses as it goes, and then hopefully if it hits, I think it's a dex save on the devil's part.
Oh, yeah. And techno music starts playing. No Midge techno music.
So that was a 16.
Yeah, I think that meets my. No, that's right. My spell save is 17 now. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So-
You have glitterified this bone devil. Essentially, it is like Halloween at a drag queen party. It is
Yeah.
a skeleton just absolutely covered in a variety of shiny, tiny little pieces of glitter,
Try
and
again. Oh, no,
it
go.
looks incredibly furious now, but also like kind of like it's ready to party.
Oh, it's hideous. Yeah, F yeah. Okay, so I'll put the empty thing back in, and I'll whistle for Ahab to kind of dislodge from his backpack holster and kind of float next to me, and his little mini airship form. How does that work? Wait, I think he has hover. But if he doesn't have hover, how does that work? Is he okay on the airship?
What do you mean?
Well, typically something if it's flying above the airship, it could just, if it can't keep up to speed, it just flies away, right? Unless it has hover, where it's kind of locked. It can be locked to the ground.
I suppose. I would think that with the magical abilities that go into this, there's plenty of things that fly on the airships. That Ahab probably considers the Morning Star as ground and is able to maintain, like in the same way that the Morning Star itself can lock into place in a docking station. Ahab can use similar magic for that.
Oh, okay, yeah, okay, that makes sense. Cool.
Yeah,
I like
so
it.
that way you're not losing your poor little buddy, and he's plummeting towards the
yeah.
air,
Get him,
hundreds of
Ahab.
feet.
Shit. Okay, so yeah, I'll have him go out and then kind of float in front of me, and it's little Thomas the Tank Engine floating ship thing, and have him take his little cannon that's on the deck and tell him to fire, and have him try to shoot at the thing. I guess it's
Sure.
a straight roll now. Now that
It would be a
it's-
straight roll. Yeah.
Okay. For 22 and 8 points of force damage. Ooh, max damage. Max damage.
Yeah.
That's my favorite
MVP.
action star.
Yes. Max damage. And that will be my turn. I'll kind of back up a little bit, and now that I got Ahab and Pondus as my bodyguards, we're set.
Boondabar. All right, it's going to
Pondus
be.
is your bodyguard now.
Yes. I'm behind him. Yep.
It is Cyrus's turn.
So Cyrus kind of turns and sees this bone devil and growls that it's his turn now. He's gonna make a radiant longsword attack. Wow, I rolled 2 1s!
Oh, man.
That is impressive. Well, that one will miss.
I was going to say, it is a melee attack too, and this thing is flying off
Oh,
of the ship.
is it not? Is it too
It
far?
hasn't landed yet.
Oh, okay, but it was like slashing me and then like retreating back up.
Right. Yeah.
Oh.
It took a slash on its kind of surprise
Like,
attack
flyby
turn.
kind of thing.
Yeah. So if you did want to change that, that's
Yeah, I
to
don't want to
something
melee
else.
the air impotently.
Yeah. Just swinging his
Um,
sword around.
Yeah. I will. Should I cast my new spell? I guess I am injured. I'll cast Aura of Vitality. And then I will use my bonus action to heal myself 2d6 hit points.
Okay.
I need to roll that. Well, great, 4. And then I will order Hans to shoot it. Shoot it, Hans. And he'll make longbow attacks.
Mhm.
Miss on that one. Oh wait, he has advantage, right? Because of the fairy fire.
No, it's just. Okay. Sorry.
Yeah, I think Fairy Fire is just makes it visible, but it
Visible,
doesn't give it.
okay. Does an 18 hit?
It does not.
Wow, this thing's armored. Okay. Then that will be my turn.
All bones.
Wait, Fair Fire does make things.
Has
Advantage, right?
advantage if the attack-
But he's invisible, so it cancels out the disadvantage and just makes it a straight roll.
If you hit something with Fair Fire, they can't be invisible.
Yeah, I think actually Jillian's
Yeah,
right on
can't
this.
benefit from invisible.
So you would
Oh.
have advantage because it's technically at this point glowing. It's not just that it's become visible; it's extra visible. So yeah, you actually would have
It didn't.
advantage.
It wouldn't have mattered. 18 was the highest we got.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. And now it
Spell
is
midge.
Whistler's turn, and Whistler is going to fire at it with the ballista, which is going to be it's a D20 plus 6.
Yeah, that's true. Yay! Super useful.
All right, and Whistler whiffs and fires the ballista, but this bone devil is able to. Well, I guess no, he'll have advantage. That's right. He'll have advantage. Let's see if Whistler can do better than that.
Nope.
Nope.
I mean, yes, but not enough better.
Technically better.
So that is his turn. Ramiel, it is your turn.
So you said I could cast cantrips.
Sure.
My concern is I don't know how the layout. Is there a way like I can actually have like, because I was going to cast Firebolt because that's like my only ranged cantrip. Would it be able to like get there somehow?
Let's see.
I'm worried about logistics of like walls and stuff.
Yeah, I'm gonna say that sitting where you are in the cockpit, you can roll down a window. It's fine. Yeah.
Is it like a manual? Like...
Yeah, does it have the hand crank?
I mean, yeah, it's Eberron. Yeah, everything's steampunk. Yeah, or maybe it's just steam powered.
Steam powered.
Yeah, you
Okay.
talk to Nathaniel, and Nathaniel's like, "Yes, I will roll down the window for you."
Thank you. Okay, cool. So I will roll to do that then. Let me see. 6.
Yeah.
Finally, someone hits.
And I'm going to use my twin spell on that. Wait, no, I can't because I can't target the same thing twice. Never mind. Never mind. And then damage. 10.
Nice.
And this thing's still like in the air. It's still flying.
At this point, it is.
Remy's gonna try to like move the ship abruptly, like have it go up, so it can kind of like smack it onto the deck. Hopefully, like if it's here, the ship's here, like try to get it to be on even footing with everyone.
Yeah. Let's see. Well, okay. So that's essentially doing. You know what? Piloting the ship could be a bonus action that takes less time than casting Fireball. We'll consider the whole piloting thing to be a bonus action. And essentially you are ramming with this ship right now, so go ahead and roll a d6.
Okay.
Yeah.
4.
Okay.
All of us get really car sick all of a sudden.
Yeah, you feel an dense pull of gravity as the ship kind of shifts upwards incredibly quickly, but at the same time this bone devil collapses onto the deck, and its skeletal wings kind of crumple a little bit, and it shakes a little bit as some glitter goes flying left and right. But it has been grounded out on the ground, but it's not flying anymore. And at that we come back to Pondus, and Pondus is going to not cast Firebolt because that would be bad for everyone.
Fireball, you mean? He can do Firebolt.
Yeah, Fireball is what I was thinking. I'm gonna say that he's going to. Yeah, he's gonna do Scorching Ray. All right, that's 3 bolts for each ray. Okay, yeah, 3 rays.
I think he still does have advantage, right? Yeah.
Yeah, so one of those would hit. All right, so he's gonna do 12 points of damage, and it is now Morag's turn.
Eldritch Blast.
How basic of you.
Yeah, I don't have any spell slots left. And bloop. So 19 for the first one. Does that hit?
That is the AC.
All right.
You done found it.
And I rolled an 8, so we'll keep that because I have Elven accuracy. So if I roll low, I can re-roll since I have advantage right now. So 12 force damage for the first Eldritch Blast.
Mhm.
Ew.
Midge, the real MVP right now.
That was
Yep.
a 5. Ah, we'll keep that too.
Glitter bomb
So
for the
9 for the
win.
second one. Yeah.
All of that damage belongs to Midge because you wouldn't have hit without his help.
Right?
Yes, Midge is going to
Like,
level
yeah,
up, and you're
fair.
all going to stay at level 9.
I think
Yeah.
that's fair.
Thanks.
Fairy Fire is a very underutilized spell. It's a good spell.
Yes.
You go up against a Rakshasa, an invisible creature. It's helpful. Which, by the way, Bone Devils aren't normally invisible, but it was suggested in the Eberron book that some creatures may be, so this one happens to be.
Just do whatever he wants over there since we're in the Mournland now.
Right?
That's right.
It's
It's a lot.
Mutated
whole bu-
invisibility. Oh no!
A whole bunch of chaos. Hey, I rolled for it. There's a whole lot of. You
This
all
one
rolled
has
for it.
16 arms and 16
Right.
attacks because of it.
No, that was the Hydra.
Yeah.
Okay, so with these Eldritch Blasts, followed by the Scorching Ray, this thing is looking pretty rough. You've cracked some ribs on it. The wings have kind of crumpled, and it seems pretty scorched and damaged by these attacks. And just want to make sure it doesn't have anything else. Because it does have magical resistance, but it's only for saving throws, so that's helpful.
Can I say that I try to back up out of its bite range if it looks like it has one of those on the deck? I backed up as far as I could, whether that's a way or not.
Yeah, when it landed, it wasn't within melee range of you. It landed closer to Whistler and Cyrus.
Okay.
Yeah. All right. So that is going to take us to the Bone Devil's turn, and it is going to take an attack towards Cyrus and Whistler. So, yeah, Bone Devil. Okay. So it is going to take a claw attack towards Cyrus,
Finally, my
And-
armor works.
and it's going to take a sting towards Whistler.
I don't think Whistler can become poisoned, right? He's Warforged.
He's resistant, but not immune.
So he'd get advantage on the roll.
Yeah, he has advantage on saving throws against being poisoned and is immune to disease. Magic can't put him to sleep. Okay. So. That's Constitution.
He also
And
gets +4 for being near me for that.
Oh.
Okay. Yeah, thoroughly passes and is going to take
Oh my
a
god.
pretty heavy chunk of damage.
Yeah, no kidding.
So 33 points of damage. Okay. Alrighty. And it is now Midge's turn.
Oh boy. All right, so thank you so much, level 9. Oh, so good. Good times. Okay. Artificers get so much goodies. Has Morag been injured?
Nope.
Okay.
Just
good.
me and Whistler at this point, I think.
My feelings are hurt a little bit because it didn't get grounded, but
And it
not my physical body.
it's a demon that isn't under your control.
Yeah.
It's a devil.
Oh, a
Yeah.
devil.
It's only
That means you can make a deal with it, Morag.
Oh.
Although in Eberron, there's not really a big differentiation between devils and demons.
Yeah, they don't have
Oh.
the whole blood war thing going on, I don't
Huh.
think.
Yeah. Yeah, they just have the demon waste, which is mostly just Rakshasas.
Who looks more injured? No, never mind. I don't wanna do
Probably Whistler. I think he took a bigger hit than I did.
that. I look like a big hit from here. That last one. Yeah.
Whistler looks like he lost a third of his health.
Wow. That's a
He's a third low on oil right now.
yes. Okay, maybe not the best time for that then. Maybe I'll wait. How about how injured does this invisible man covered in something via
Yeah, so
movie?
this is it's almost like animalistic in structure. It's all skeletons, all bones, but it's kind of like hunched over, has these big wings, and has 4 appendages in addition to, and it is looking, that'd be
Hard to
A
tell
little-
medicine check on bones.
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of the bones are scorched, cracked. There's kind of like this blazing demonic fire behind the thing's eyes. It looks like it has a little over half of its vitality left.
All right. Well, since there's only one of it looks like we're kind of kicking its ass, but it is definitely doing damage. I'll monitor the status of people that are getting hit by it, but I think just hammering down on damage would probably be best. So I will, as I'm walking down, I'll go in front of Pondus at this point, and start walking towards that area, but still stay like 20 feet away from the creature.
Mhm.
Firebolt. Ooh.
Okay.
Critty critter.
Crit.
So 22 points
22.
for the firebolt. And then I'll
Right.
use my bonus action to command Ahab to kind of come up with me. And have Ahab fire a shot as well. Ooh.
Ow.
Twinsies.
Ahab crit.
Look at you.
Holy.
I'm going to have to build a little hand on like that comes out from the side of him so we can do high fives.
Yeah.
That's going to have to happen. Nope, shit, wrong thing. There we go. So 9 points from Ahab.
Okay.
Good job, buddy. Holy shit. Now get in front of me. There we go.
You firebolt this thing and blast off a large chunk of the bone on its wing, and then Ahab fires one of his cannonballs, and a rib just goes cracked and goes flying off into the sky. Yeah, there's a little bit of bone dust and stuff in the air now. And with that, it is Cyrus's turn.
So it is on the deck now. I can't hit it.
It is landed on the deck. You can slash away.
I'ma do that.
Swing away, Cyrus.
It's 22
Swing
hit.
away.
It
yeah.
does.
Try not to damage its skull. It would make a great decorations for our
You
bathroom.
should have said that before I swung. Oh my gosh. I'm gonna throw a smite. We'll do a level 2. So I think that's 4 d8 extra because it's a fiend. I get extra d8 on that.
Mhm.
Let me double check. Where is it? Right there. 2d8, and then 1 more d8 for the spell level, and then 1 for that fiend, so 4d8 is right. And this is radiant damage, if that matters.
Okay.
Oh, there's 17, so 33 total on that attack.
Okay. Don't
Is
think
it
this
still
thing-
live?
Yes, it is.
Alright, I got another attack. Good thing I got that advantage. Midge, the real MVP.
Yeah.
From
So-
back here. Ah.
Regular
Yeah.
attack hits for 13, and then I'll throw a first level spite on it, which will do another 3d8. Oh my god, I rolled so horrible. on that. So another 19 damage.
Okay, so in addition to the... Okay, it's the 13 plus 6. Okay, cool.
Yeah,
Yeah, this thing seems to be barely hanging on. It's trying to hold itself up on its very shaky bones. You can hear the rattling as you turn to your own skeletal boy.
Yeah. I say, take it down, Hans. Alright,
Ugh.
second one hit, and the third one hit.
Mhm.
So he does a d10 plus 7. So that would be 26 total.
Yeah, Hans, bone on bone. Yeah,
That's what the people on Twitch came here for. That hot bone on bone
Yeah,
action.
that
Yeah.
on, but-
yeah. The rattling and crackling. You almost see a sense of loss and like the loss of a brother, as Hans shatters this thing, and it crumples to the deck. All of the bones that weren't even being held on by ligaments, held on by this necromantic, evil, devilish power, just scatter. Several of them turn immediately to dust. You are left with a very lovely, horrifying skull as the
Yay.
flame in the eyes burns out like coals. And yeah, you've got some. You got a Scully boy now.
So I've still got Aura Vitality going, which will let me heal 2d6 per round, and I've got 9 rounds left. You just want me to like roll that? Are we going to be okay for the next minute?
Well, were any of your smites leveled spells? Because that was a concentration.
The smites are added on. That I didn't use like thunderous smite or anything like that.
Okay.
Those don't.
Then yeah,
Okay.
you can
so
go ahead and
throw those out
add
there.
back that health.
So what would that be? 18d6, and I'll just divvy it out between Whistler and I.
Yeah, and I guess anybody else who needs health, just
Yeah. Does
go give
anybody need
Cyrus a
anything?
hug.
Okay, you're gonna heal up Whistler. He's good then.
Probably.
Okay.
So there's 15, and then 3 more. So
Okay.
yeah, that would put both of us at full, I'm assuming.
Yeah, you're all good.
That's a nice. I like that spell.
Our first trophy of the Mournlands.
That's right.
Yeah, I don't like it.
You mount it on the front of the ship. Tell the other bone devils to stay away.
No, we'll put it on like the top, like the skull, just like on the top of the flagpole.
Oh.
Yeah.
It'll be the first thing that went on that flagpole that I don't hate, so that's good.
All right. So we're out of initiative order now. Is there anything you all are doing?
I'll take a long or short rest and get my slots back.
And warlocks always demanding their short rests.
Naps.
Well, I will attempt to take a breather and kind of like see if no
Yeah, if
shit
you-
goes down for an hour.
If you want to take a break, that's fine. I'll keep watch up here.
I mean, I can open my eyes while I break.
I think Rami was the MVP of that because we didn't plummet to our death.
I think we already established that Midge was the MVP.
I think it's Midge. Like
Yeah.
Midge.
Look, I don't want to. I'm blushing for real.
I go to the mini fridge and I get a red juice out and then I sit in the Adirondack chair for an hour.
Yeah.
And
Pounding
you
the red
That's the
juice.
plan anyway.
You squeeze it into your mouth.
Yeah.
So you continue your flight towards making. You do notice, Rami, especially as you're flying, it seems like darkness is coming even earlier than you thought. You only think you spent maybe an hour and a half, maybe 2 hours, flying through the smoke and the mist, but it almost seems like time shifted differently. That you spent what had to be much longer.
It should be about noon right now, right?
Right, and it seems more like it's getting to be 8 or 9 o'clock at night. There's, the sun seems to be setting, and darkness seems to be kind of hitting you even more. And as that happens, you all, Rami included, are feeling tired, not only from the fight itself, but almost, that natural state of tired, with the exception of Morag, of course, that comes with being awake for most of a day.
Well, her instruments did stop working, so I suppose any timekeeping things probably.
What are we
Also
gonna do
stop
when like
working.
Rami needs sleep?
Land.
Morag has a House Lyrandar like tattoo she can slap on herself,
the tattoo onto herself.
I
and
don't
then
know
just
what
sit
kind
down.
of crazy ritual they had to do to ground
I have
that
no
on
idea.
themselves.
Hello,
I don't think it's a
Nathaniel.
good
It is
idea.
me, the other Ramiel.
Yeah.
I don't think it's a good idea. I don't think we should try.
I think we might have to land.
I've
so
got a
you can
dragon
sleep.
mark.
You want to
I
see
am-
if it works? 300 feet in the air, just take over, see what happens.
Couldn't hurt.
If you're gonna break
Hey,
Nathaniel with
If
your
we're
like
300 feet in the air, we'll
chaos
have
bullshit,
plenty of time to switch back before we crash.
you're gonna break Nathaniel. You're gonna
I'm gonna turn
ruin
him into a chaos elemental.
Yeah, he's
Ooh.
gonna be rude once you touch him.
He'll be a broody teenage elemental after I get there.
Not listening to you, Mom. You're just being like that because you're on the red juice.
Kyle.
Just saying.
Drinking your
Kyle.
red juice,
Flying you to
listening
there.
to your albums loud.
Kool-Aid.
No, you called it red juice.
Yeah, you made
You
it canon.
called it
You
right.
started- you started
the first time.
Oh well, I don't know. I can't remember way back. That's way back. Way too
That's
long
2
ago.
weeks ago.
That's way too. Long.
Yeah, so it has little feetsies that could make it land on the ground, right, Derek? We established that.
It does have landing gear, yes.
That could be an option. Not a good one. So, Rami, you're just not going to be able to sleep for like a week. Got it?
I don't know if I could keep going for that long.
Let's just try to get to somewhere with a dock that's above ground level. Shouldn't some
Our
of these
odds are bad, right? We
Really?
kind of discussed that.
Oh, the way they talked back in the Argon? Yes.
There might
Yeah.
be some, but most of everything is like leveled around here.
We'll keep our eye out.
I mean, we did want to go to the place with the glass floor instead of Eston,
Mhm.
home of mechanical wonders.
Mhm.
I just okay. Never mind. That's enough of that.
I mean, what are your fears of landing that we're like set upon in the night?
Set
Yes.
upon.
I
can-
mean, everyone always told us that everything gets worse at nighttime here.
well, I can cast Liamon's tiny hut. You
But what
can
about
sleep
the airship?
inside of it. It would be vulnerable, but you
Well,
would
I
be
am more
safe.
I am more concerned about the entire ship because at least if we have the ship, we have a way out.
But I will be able to watch all night long. I can wake you up.
Do you have like a Liamon's warehouse?
Liamon's extra large
Liamon's hangar.
warehouse.
Yeah.
Liamon's
hangar.
large
Liamon's
hangar.
Ship
Jet
yard?
hangar.
Yes, Liamon's airship hangar.
Yes.
Liamon's battle cruiser. Where's that?
Well, they did come out with all those spells that gave the other classes like the ability to make these big places. Like wizards can make a fortress and clerics can make a temple and all that kind of
Ah.
stuff.
That sounds
I don't know.
cool.
I don't know
But
what level that is.
warlocks cannot make anything.
Warlocks have
can
no
make
home.
a dungeon.
Yeah.
No one likes warlocks.
Warlocks can make their mom's basement.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Hag's basement. Ooh.
Well, I don't know. Maybe I can fly the ship.
I don't like it.
No offense, Mr. Alderman, but I don't know if that would be the best idea.
If as long as you're touching the wheel, can we do like an autopilot thing? Like you sleep.
Like
I fall
tie her
asleep
arm to
with,
the
like, my
wheel while
hand
she's sleeping.
I need like a gauntlet that just like keeps my hand like this, like around the.
Not sure that's how that works. I guess we'll have to land. That's probably the answer.
I mean, we'll keep an eye out.
Yeah,
or
we'll keep-
ask everyone else to keep an eye out. Like,
We'll keep a lookout for somewhere good to land right now, and we'll keep going.
Yeah, as you are flying now, you've probably been in flight for about 2 hours, and it is getting darker and darker at this point. You do notice off to your right the mountain range that I mentioned before, and you also notice something that was mentioned to you by Caligo. You see, fused into this mountain range is a warforged, a warforged colossus. Half of its structure seems to be almost buried in this solid rock formation as a single arm reaches out, seemingly grasping at nothing. There's no movement, there's no light behind the eyes. Somehow this gargantuan automaton became stuck in this
That is-
rock.
WX33, right?
It's the Karn Slayer.
No, it's not the Karn Slayer.
Oh well, fuck! It's not the Karn Slayer.
I don't like the
didn't
Karn
write
Slayer.
I
Let's
didn't write
let's
their
avoid that.
nicknames. I just wrote down like their like numbers.
Yeah, no, yeah, Kay actually had it completely right. That is Landro, WX33. The Karn Slayer, you might remember, has no bottom half and drags itself throughout the moorland looking for things to fire its lasers at.
Oh, okay.
Just
there's a
like
comma there.
we all
Okay.
do in life.
Yeah. Yeah.
Just,
As someone
We
does.
drag ourselves through life looking for something to fire our lasers.
that on my headstone. All right. So it is getting darker and darker. What are you all doing?
Looking for a
Let's
suitable
land
place.
on. Let's
Yeah.
land on the Colossus.
Yeah,
Do you
that's the
think that'd
safest
be
spot.
a good idea?
No.
And in its hand.
Yeah,
Why
it's just
not?
holding us.
Because
They're,
it's
they're,
out.
they're inactive.
It's inactive
them
and it's
are.
pointed up in the air. Like, it's kind of like a dock.
We don't know that it's inactive, do we?
Yeah, he told us.
I mean,
I
it's
mean,
not doing
don't know for
anything because
sure,
it's
yeah.
stuck, but it could be like just waiting for us to fly by so it can crush us.
Well, there's things that live inside of it. They said too.
Yeah,
We should-
they make
Yeah.
up
We should
for
try to
that.
tuck into something, like so that people can't
See us.
see it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Instead of
So are you guys looking for like a cave structure, something like that?
Like a clearing or like a valley.
I strip naked. I make my circle. I throw my augury bones with landing on the
Mourning is just like ripping off her clothes.
All the buttons pop.
Got this, guys.
Yeah. I'll say wheel or woe. Colossus or not.
Colossus landing.
Colossus landing, wheel or woe.
That is interesting. To answer that, I'm gonna have you all roll D100s again.
Oh.
Eric.
I didn't like what happened last time I did that.
Wait. That's
45.
Oh, I can't see my D1. Sorry, Chad. I gotta move this stuff in front of here to get to my dice roller. There we go.
45, 77.
That's a good one.
And 20, another 25. Well, we already had a nice bone devil from 25, so leave that one alone. Okay.
It reanimates.
So what do you like take our rolls and decide which one you want to use the most?
I decide which one would be probably most applicable based on what you're doing.
Okay.
And I try not to do repeats. And if it really comes down to it, I just roll a d4. And I assign each one of them, not in order, a number, and we go from there.
Okay.
So in this case, because you are landing, I am going to do a d4. And we'll let the dice decide.
Let the dice decide.
And is this going to affect the wheel or woe she asked for? The
Yes.
Portent? Okay.
Because there's not all bad things. Some
Well, you
things
put good things
There
on
could
the
be
list,
treasure in there.
there actually are a couple of good things on here. And
There's two good things and 98 bad things.
how did you know?
Exactly it.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
So you're exactly correct. Okay, so yeah, landing on the Colossus would be a wheel.
Granny, thank you.
You almost get landing near the Colossus, almost like landing on this crumbling
It's probably
structure.
dangerous.
This thing was probably condemned.
Okay.
Signs point to yes.
Thanks, Magic 8 Ball.
Mm.
Yeah.
So we should land there?
It won't immediately harm us. If it was lying dormant, waiting to lure something in, it would probably spring within 30 minutes. So it
Okay.
in itself won't harm us.
You also got like a wheel last time, and then a giant laser bird like tried to scalp.
That
That was
was
to get through the
after.
fog, and we got through the fog just fine.
I almost took the contact other realms spell, but if it fails, I go crazy for an hour.
Would we notice a
Not
difference?
fun.
It's
Guys,
so
Morak's
fun.
keeping her clothes on. I think something's wrong.
Yeah.
She's sick. Does she have a fever?
It's a little bit.
She's
Yeah.
not sizing up our bones as they're still in our body.
Uh,
Yes.
Does
I-
Morag like specify the like near the?
yeah, probably don't land on the Colossus itself, just in case it collapses under us.
There is an entire
Okay.
plateaued mountain range there.
Yeah,
near
Rami
near the
will-
Colossus was what you got wheel on, right?
Yes.
All right, let's do that.
Yeah, Rami will pull it in. Find some flat spot. I'm a little personally a little anxious about getting into a cave, so
Okay.
preferably a flat.
Yeah,
Here we
the
go.
mountain range itself, like I said, is plateaued, so it does have an entirely flat surface. So
That'll be
you-
good for visibility too.
Yeah.
So you land pretty, deftly as you normally do, and it seems to hold the ship just fine. It actually seems to be pretty even ground. You engage the landing gear as the Morning Star comes to a solid and complete rest upon this mountain range, and you are now pretty close once again to the border of this smoke fog wall. And how close did you park to this colossus?
Like in the shadow of it, right?
We're close to it because it was specified, like, get near it, but it's, like, you'd still have to get off the ship, walk for a couple minutes to get to it. Not like, it's not just like there.
Cool.
So there's wiggle room on all sides.
All right. Well, you have docked. I guess if you're gonna look around, if you can make a perception check.
Everybody make a perception.
Hell yeah!
Everybody, clap your hands.
Morag just has a low perception today.
Morg's still blinded from that arc like phoenix.
Yeah.
Ho!
Remy with the win. All right.
What do your half elven eyes see?
So Remy, are you bringing Nathaniel with you, or are you leaving him in the Dragon Shard?
How much of a process is it to put him back in? Like, how long does that take?
It's a few moments, but it's also a few moments that if you were to be rushing to take off again, you would have to sacrifice those few moments.
I think she's more worried about something jumping on and jacking the ship than a few seconds to put him back in. So she's taking him with her.
Okay. I think somebody's shooting off fireworks right now, which, what the fuck, Ohio?
Thanks.
Yeah. Okay. So you're leaving Nathaniel there. Gotcha. Or no, you're taking him with you. Yes. Okay. Because you're afraid of somebody jacking the ship. Got it. Okay. And as everybody's kind of looking around, once again, there's this, especially it's full nighttime at this point. And the haze is even thicker now. You can't really see anything. But Remy, as you're walking on the top deck with Nathaniel, you hear something kind of being carried on the wind, and you hear what sounds like the screams of dozens of people, almost in unison. And it's very distant, but you're able to pick it up. It doesn't seem to be necessarily coming towards you or even super nearby, but it is relatively loud at this point.
She'll stop and just kind of listen, and if there's anyone else on the deck with her, she'll just, shh, guys, do you all hear that?
Was it a
No,
baby?
we rolled too low on our perception.
Yeah.
I hear screaming.
Do we hear it now that she's pointed it out?
You can kind of pick it up, but it's almost like when Morag was walking on the Archon. It's almost like you think it's maybe just the wind, but does wind
Is there a
sound like that?
direction maybe it's coming from, or is it just kind of in general?
So you have the wall of fog kind of behind you. It is out into the Mournland, but it's being carried by the wind, so you can't exactly tell where the sound is coming from.
Okay.
Hmm.
It sounds static. I don't think it's moving towards us, but
That's
The
comforting.
wind does sound like crying women, screaming people sometimes. It happens in Droam sometimes, but we also have the oubliettes there, and they make screaming noises too. So
that
it could be anything.
Yeah. Well, thank you for that insight. Do we want to scout around a little bit? I can summon a horse. Of course.
Whistler looks around all of you and he says, I'm not sure nighttime is the best time to scout. We will have time tomorrow, and once the day has come back, to explore more, perhaps even to look at the Colossus. But I think we should all get rest.
Yes, you should all go to sleep.
I am more than willing to use my sentry's rest here. I can have a semblance of awareness.
So I guess Morag and Whistler on watch duty.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
If that's something you want, Morag.
Yes, I'll stay up with you.
Oh boy.
Are you guys wanting Liamon's tiny hut to sleep inside as an extra layer of protection, or do you want to just sleep in your bunks?
You would have to be in it with us for it to work, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, but I could see outside of it. I could just sit in it with
Honestly,
you and look out.
Rammy's gonna like get like a little pallet of stuff and just like sleep in the cockpit just in case they do need to like get up and go quickly.
Okay.
Just lay stuff out on the floor.
I'm gonna wrap up in my cloak of Elvenkind right outside the cockpit. Try to kind of mesh in with something, like tuck in.
You also have that?
I do.
Mostly
I didn't know
my
you had that
quarters,
too. Rammy has
like a
one
not
also.
crazy person.
Made it myself. Actually, before I go to sleep, I want to whip up a couple concoctions for Morag and Whistler. I get to pick them. Okay, never mind. That's different. Used to just getting the random ones. Let's see here. How about give them both boldness ones? Yeah, boldness. It's the same thing. Basically, it's a bless. Oh wait, no, that only lasts a minute. Fuck. How long does older self last? Oh, it's 10 minutes. Fuck. Never mind. Okay, well, I'll just tell them to drink these. Then they'll have temporary hit points all night. Okay. So it'd be 2d6 plus in case something does happen.
Mm-hmm.
The shit's gonna wear off pretty quick, but you'll feel buffer. Yeah.
2d6 plus what?
Yeah, hold on here. Let me roll that shit. 2d6 plus 5. So you'll have 9 temp hit points for the night.
Oh, you get to roll it. Okay.
Yeah, both of you and Whistler.
Nice.
All right.
Thank you, Mitch.
You're welcome.
So, who wants to be in charge of? I'm assuming you all are trying to make your ship as inconspicuous as possible. So, who wants to be in charge of trying to douse ever bright lanterns? Yeah, if you want to do any type of, if you can do camouflage if you want. At the very least, I would suggest dousing your lanterns.
Maybe we'll like go do like the standard ship care stuff, like turning lanterns off and all that.
Okay.
Ooh. Yeah. I'm gonna go. Oh no, go ahead. Go ahead, Morgan.
No, you started. Go ahead. Okay. I just had a question, but later.
Yeah. Thanks for reminding me, DM. Midge is going to before he tucks in, as he sees Cyrus like kind of putting camouflage and stuff. So we nestled in, not out on the end, but on the actual body of the Colossus, or right next to it.
No, like we're on the mountain.
On the thing. Okay. Okay. Somewhere close by, but not right at our ship. I want to go and throw a card and see what happens. Decoy.
Okay. Draw your card.
Okay. This is gonna be. We're gonna make this a hag again. Yeah.
I think you only had one. I think you only had one hag.
Yeah, but he thinks he's gonna be able to replicate it. But
are you throwing this on the same level as the ship, or are you throwing it off of the cliff and letting it land?
Yeah, but not throwing it like way off, but just down along the side.
It'll just
next to the ship.
Drift next to. Okay.
Yeah. Deal 1 card. I don't remember any of this.
I think you could just like drag a card off of it.
Oh, cancel. Okay.
So we cannot see the stars or moons. It's just kind of an ambient glow of the sky.
Yeah, at this point, there's not even a glow.
Okay.
It's almost
Just
total
dark.
darkness at this
Okay.
point. Yeah.
Okay. Queen of
All right.
Spades.
Yeah, you have summoned a Medusa.
Whee!
Now I feel safer.
Well, at least it's a female. It's close to a hag.
What?
It's close to a hag.
Okay.
She is very formidable looking.
Yeah.
I think Medusa live in Droam. You've probably seen one before.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a Medusa warlord out there.
it's probably your mailman or mail woman.
Right.
It says, "Oh, hey, Morg."
It's your male
Hi.
woman.
Hey, Kathy.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Kathy the Medusa.
Yeah, that's great.
Well, that's fake. Everybody, that's fake. Look fierce, rawr, right?
Yeah, this is like the first time you can truly look at a Medusa and not be petrified. So you can take a close look at the snaky updo and flowy
Snaky
robes
updo.
and whatnot.
I like it. Sneaky updo.
Yeah. Okay. So is everybody going to bed then?
Yep. Cyrus will write down the day's events in a journal first, and then go to them. Keeping a record of our adventure in the Mournland is probably important.
Okay. Anything from anyone else?
I tuck everybody in one by one.
Have sweet nightmares. Sweet
Oh,
nightmares.
yes.
I'll be watching.
Yeah, I'll be watching.
Don't let the demons bite. That's my job.
Mhm.
All right. Morag, where are you spending your evening? Are you going to be below deck? Which I should say that each of the rooms does have a porthole window with a curtain, should you want to not see or hear what's outside. But yeah.
I want to position myself on the deck where I could see as much around the ship as possible, and be able to like run down and wake people if I need to. So wherever that is best.
Okay. Yeah, I mean that's the top deck. You have easy access to the steps, and actually where you guys landed, you have a very good view of this valley essentially from this mountain, well into the Mournland. Whistler spends a little bit of time with you. Says, "I don't need much rest, a few hours at most, but I can spend some of my time with you.
Yes,
Are you
keep
well?"
I am well, thank you. How are you? You got hit pretty hard by that thing.
I did. It hurt, but I'm better now.
This is good.
It is good.
Mhm. Well,
World's greatest conversation.
Morag,
Well-
I know that you collect bones. Is that right?
To a degree, yes.
I do not have bones. But if I die, I want you to take what you can from me.
I will. That's a very generous offer.
I feel
not
like
a lo-
my arm gauntlet would make a very nice knife.
I'm sure. Allowing someone or telling someone that they have property and dominion over your deceased body protects yourself from other things having it that you might not want it to have. So, giving me ownership over yourself will be a good thing, I think.
Well, consent is key.
That's true. This pact has been made. Thank you.
Hmm.
Yeah.
I feel like Midge is probably a notary.
Yeah, that's Midge makes a few bucks here and there. Just notarization.
We are similar, I think, Whistler, you and I, because we were raised to know our purpose. And when you know it already, there is less mystery in the world. Do you agree?
I do. Everyone seems so uncertain of their place. I don't understand this. I don't understand why they just don't look.
I don't know. The more I know how certain my destiny is, my purpose is, the more I wonder if being adrift is mm, preferable.
Perhaps your purpose is to find a purpose. Or perhaps your purpose is to have many purposes. That is what I think of myself. I have had several purposes in my time, and I hope to have many more.
I have three paths before me, one of domination, and one of strength, and one of foresight. Three aspects of my patron, but I think my purpose might be to combine all three into one.
Ultron of hags.
I just don't know how to do that.
Well, Morag, I believe that if anyone can figure it out, it is you.
Thank you. I agree.
Sometimes when I find myself on a path and I don't like where it's going, I step off of the path. And before long, I have made my own. I think you could do this.
It is harder. I have my pact written on my very being, and leaving your own skin, that's hard to do. The
I
hags
suppose.
know that words can be broken, but our bodies, they're harder to leave behind. So when they make their pacts, they make sure that they last longer than words can last.
Perhaps your hags would understand that you need something more than they can give.
We'll see in time, I guess. We'll see if we make it out of the morning.
I think we will.
Scene.
And with that, Whistler walks off. He sits in the ballista chair again and takes his century's rest, but kind of points himself out towards the Mournland. Um, and several hours pass. Go ahead and make another perception check.
All right. I'm going to, like, every once in a while when I try to actively look for something, I'll cast guidance on myself to give me a little edge.
Mhm.
So we'll do that, and then we'll add. I don't think it's gonna matter.
We're
One
all
d4.
gonna die.
There's been something in my eye since we got through the fog.
Yeah, let's say that you've been kind of working on your tome, and you notice that since the last time you opened it, there have been writings added to it, not from your hand.
Uh-oh.
Correspondence you would know from the hags. Um, you recognize the handwriting of the three, and it says, "We can no longer see you."
Oh God. Uh, this I like an icicle juts into my heart, and that's a scary thing to know that they can't see me. I write back. I try to say I am still here. I'm in the Mournlands, and see if they respond.
You get a response almost instantly. Um, it says, "Protect yourself and return at all costs."
I respond, I will do this, and I close the book. They can't see me. Yikes. Yay? Ugh.
And it's at this point when you close your book, you look up to see in the distance something has gotten closer without you noticing. The words written in your tome seem to have distracted you to the point that you now feel the footsteps of this thing thundering beneath you. You hear the screams of this thing as its skeletal mouth opens wide with no lungs, no tongue, nothing to produce sound, but you see a giant skeleton. But it's not the skeleton of a giant. Especially being around hags, you would know, some hags use the skulls of storm giants or fire giants, what have you, for houses. Even this thing seems to be shifting in a way, and the closer that you look at it, you realize that it has been formed from thousands of skeletons. It is itself a giant skeleton made of skeletons. And it doesn't seem to notice you. It seems to be stomping through the Mournland, just wailing into the night.
I didn't know that there were things more horrifying than one would come across in the presence of a hag, but here we are. I stay really quiet and I just watch it.
And over the course of about an hour and a half, it continues just to make this horrific noise of pain and agony, of countless voices shouting to the darkness. And before too long, it's walked off into the darkness, and you stop feeling the reverberations of this thing's footsteps. And the rest of the night goes without too much incident. The sun, as far as you can tell, begins to rise as light comes back to the Mournland, and once again, this barren wasteland of horrors, abominations, and utter nightmares is illuminated once again.
Is that a good thing or a bad thing?
Yeah.
Devil, you know.
I make everybody pancakes and I wake them up. I'm like, everything's fine.
Mhm.
It was fine during the night. Nothing bad happened, or everything's great. Have a pancake.
Is it in the shape of a beholder?
Yes. And dragons, and this one's an owl bear.
Ooh. What about an Eric?
And
What
we
about
find out that Morag is actually a pancake artist.
Eric?
Yes.
Well, it's time for Cyrus's morning ritual of attempting to control an undead.
Mm.
I will eat my pancake and watch.
Ooh, that was a close one. All right, I still got my Hans.
All right.
I will begin working on something while I'm eating my pancakes in private in my quarters.
Oh.
Oh,
I'll take my pancakes
we'll
to my
give you
quarters.
some privacy, Midge.
Yeah. It's delicate work. but it will benefit us all, for sure. Yep. Then I'll go down
All right.
and do that.
So we're getting close to wrapping up here, but is there anything anyone would like to do or plan for in the next session? I guess at this point, you have the option that if you would like to, you can investigate the Colossus. You can choose to investigate the mountain range if you want, or you can take off and head towards making once again. Or Rami can just go absolutely rogue and fly off to Eston like she wanted to.
Yeah, maybe.
Oh no, Nathaniel's, I can't control him.
He thinks for himself. Makes no decision.
We don't know what it is, so she told us we were in baking, and we would just assume that it was.
I was expecting a
I
lot
think-
more glass. Aw.
Yeah, there's some very obvious features
okay,
of
okay.
each point that we would recognize pretty quick.
Alright.
So
I'm
we're
curious
gonna.
about
I want to.
investigating the
Yeah,
spots.
I want to check out the Colossus. So I guess we'd go on foot to go see it.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm gonna take a little time to do something and then come back up and
Oh
offer-
yeah, we're not
We'll
really.
leave I'll leave Hans, and we can leave Whistler and Pondus on the ship to like protect it while we're gone.
Okay.
That's a good idea.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Pondus actually insists on going with you.
Oh.
Says,
Whistler and Hans can stay.
yes, I'm not a defender in the way that they are, but this is what you brought me here for. I am a scholar of these things, and I will be able to tell you if anything on that Colossus is of any use toward Lords, the Marix family.
Okay, you're in. You're taking point.
No, I'm taking the back. I'm taking the tail. The what's the opposite of a point? A blunt. I'm taking a blunt. Nope, not that.
The caboose.
Bringing up the rear.
This is
Yes.
turning into an entirely different kind of stream.
Yes. I got blunts. I'll go up to Morag and offer her my tribute for cooking pancakes in the form of these small strips, and I'll tell her you can put these on your clothing so that you don't have to button them, and it's
It's Velcro.
Velcro, yeah. It's like you put them on the
And
clothing.
you can just rip it and then.
Yeah.
Really crazy.
It
Great.
cuts.
Morag has breakaway pants now.
Yeah.
Morag is
Thank
essentially
you.
dressed like a male stripper.
Yeah.
Just
You're welcome.
Fantastic.
Midge, I want you to know that you are very smart, and I want you to know that you are very capable, and any being of sufficient power would love to strap you to an altar and carve runes of binding into you and make you their minion for all eternity. That is how much you
Aw.
are worth. Okay? So
It's a compliment.
It's the sweetest. That's the sweetest thing anyone's ever scared me to death with.
you don't doubt how important you are.
The
Because you
kindest
are
of
very
horrible
powerful.
words.
Yes.
the kindest threat anyone's gonna.
Yes. I was hoping this would help me with my nightmares, but that definitely just doubled down on everything that I
Gave
know.
me new ones.
Yes.
If we're gonna go outside the ship, I am gonna use Spine Steed.
Ooh.
And like Pondus can sit on it and make him feel safe. He can run away if he needs to. So I'll
I
cast him.
absolutely will.
And he rides side saddle because he's wearing a robe.
That's
And
right.
it's a like bony, fiendish, evil-looking warhorse.
Oh.
Why? Why?
Does
You
it-
need
does
to
it
strike
still
fear
have,
into your
like-
enemies.
Is it just made of bones?
No, it's like a
Or
horse.
does it have like
but it's
flesh,
got,
like some clinging flesh still?
No,
Is it
it's
like
got
a
like bone
Thestral
armor.
from Harry Potter?
It could have been a
from
pretty
Harry Potter?
pony.
Okay.
Isn't this?
I chose not for that. Just so you know, Pondus. I deliberately did not want to.
And went out of my way.
Yeah,
to
to make
make
this a
it
terrifying. This will
scary.
scare away anything in the Mournlands. They won't attack you.
I
I
had a
think
pony
back
when I was a
about
boy.
think back to last night. I'm like, I don't know if it'll scare away everything in the Moorland.
Right.
I had a pony when I was a boy. His name was Lightning. Can you
It's,
make lightning?
It's pretty smart. You can like talk to it. It understands common.
You terrify me.
It like whinnies and nods.
Okay. All right. So we're gonna go ahead and end it there. We'll pick up next time as we explore a Colossus.
Yay!
Yay! Yeah, you all survived again. Good job.
Darn it.
So I
Well, us.
no, I've got another what like 90 something.
We're gonna
experiences
get
for
through
it.
all of them.
Every single one. No, there's very clear duplications and everything. But anyway, thank you all for joining us once again for Eberron, Shade, and Cinder. Thank you again to my amazing players for playing this game, for suffering through the abominations and entities that I happened to throw at them. I hope that I gave you a decent taste of what the Mournland has to offer, and there's much more to come. So that said, we're going to go ahead and go around and say hi to everybody, and you can tell us where to find you, and tell us what you do for fun or money or whatever, all that cool stuff. And we are going to start with, as soon as I can pull it up. Nope. Hey Kyle, who's on the top left?
Jillian. Jillian's first.
Jillian, hey, yeah, why not? Go for it.
It's me. I'm Jillian. Also Morag. We are one. Yeah, so Jillian of Midgard is where I am most places on the internet. Jill of Midgard on Twitter. I'm an artist specializing in D&D art and tools, gaming enhancement tools. As
Show
they're
them
called.
the character sheet you used today.
So yeah, I didn't get a chance to write through her portrait on it, but I made a new character sheet. I mean, this is one that's already available, like for download on my Etsy, but I put the portrait up there. I just haven't drawn it yet. But
Do you have the other type, the long one?
No, but you can see pictures of all of my art and tools on Jillian of Midgard Etsy, and Instagram or Jill of Midgard on Twitter. Yeah, hit me up.
Yes, Jillian does some phenomenal stuff. You can actually see Kyle is currently wearing one of her pieces of artwork, which I am looking forward to getting one for myself. So definitely, if you are interested in some amazing D&D art or character sheets or any of that stuff, check out her Etsy. It's got a lot of cool stuff on there. And speaking of cool stuff that Jillian owns, there's Nate.
Yeah, I definitely fall into that category for sure. Yeah, I'm Nate, at Nate Holberg on Twitter. Don't really do anything on Twitter. It's kind of a boring follow. But yeah, I'm super stoked that we made it to the Mournland. We're not screaming and pulling our hair out in horror yet, so things are going well. And I'm super excited already for next week to see what happens in the Warforged Colossus. I told Derek when we started this game that I was actually planning a Eberron campaign myself, and going into the Mournland and checking out a Warforged Colossus was like on my list for like plot points. So I'm really excited that we're actually getting to play this out.
Yeah, it's absolutely not something that I had planned. So this is something that I always love seeing the decisions that you guys make. And yeah, I didn't even know what city you were going to go to. So it's kind of been a lot of fun planning for every eventuality. And what's always eventually awesome? It's Kay.
Eric, you're always so nice to me.
I try.
Hi everyone, I'm Kay at ironic_cupcake on Twitch and Twitter. I post about D&D and things I write and things I make. I like to crochet D&D creatures and characters, and lately I've been doing a lot of Pokemon and video game characters. I had so much fun today. As always, I am very proud of us today. Like, we kicked ass on our first day in the Mournland. Like, I was expecting us to already die and have like some near death, at least have some more near death experiences, but we did really well. We handled ourselves. I especially hate the giant conglomeration of skeletons, Derek. No thank you. I'm glad I was asleep for that. I don't want to deal. No thanks. I still don't feel safe, even though we did well. And I'm excited to see what's gonna happen in making. Oh, and make sure that you're in the Discord, all of the viewers, because I write up all of my letters and I sent them there because I'm a nerd. I'm a nerd. As for plugs, I am guesting on the Arcana Code on Twitch in the Enigma Syndicate campaign this month. This next Tuesday is my last game. I'm playing Captain Siobhan Buchanan of the Griffin Guard. It's every Tuesday at 8:30 p.m. Mountain Time. It has been such a fun game to do and such an amazing community I've found myself to be a part of. I love everyone there so incredibly much. I'm in danger right now. I'm in the air flying over a giant army and everything's on fire and everyone's dead. Kyle, I don't actually know if you got to see it last week. Kyle got to play on the game a couple weeks ago, and one of the members of your crew died. Kyle,
yeah, Wrecker. I was there when Wrecker took the boulder to the face.
Yeah, that was sad. So, yeah.
One of the players died, or one of the NPCs died?
As an NPC,
okay.
Kyle's character knew, and he just got smashed with a giant boulder. So at least he was drunk.
Yeah, he went out how he wanted to go. That's good.
Well, who's probably not drunk right now? It's Kyle.
Hey, Unfortunately, you're correct. I'm not, but that's okay. Had a great time, and Derek, actually, let's swing it over to you, so because I'll do the channel stuff going out.
Sure.
So
Hi, everybody. I am Derek Sword. I'm DSword16 on Twitter, Twitch, and really anywhere that counts except for Instagram, where I'm Sword Dogs, where I post about my dogs. Not a lot anymore, but anyway. You can find me every Saturday here, probably for the rest of all known time to man. You can find me every other Tuesday on Uncanny Adventures, including this coming Tuesday, where I will be in a Call of Cthulhu Shadows over Stillwater game. We've kind of missed a couple of games just because obviously people aren't feeling well, or health is always important. But the last time that we played, we had just infiltrated I guess a cave full of chthonic snake people. And I shot one in the face, and then somebody got grabbed into a hole. So check out this Tuesday at 7 p.m. and find out if that person got ate or not. I don't know. I am also the co-host of the podcast Monster Crush, which is actually where I got a lot of inspiration for a lot of the monsters I'm going to be throwing in here. Monster Crush is an amazing podcast where we try to find love in all of the wrong places, and we try to find beauty in the monstrous as we search for the perfect monster smooches. And actually, the giant skeleton made of skeletons does come from myth. It comes from Japanese mythology, where it is known as the Gasha de Kuro, which is essentially a skeleton cobbled together of other skeletons from like a mass grave or a battlefield or something. And yeah, it just roams the countryside looking for people to step on, and then if you try to hide somewhere, it sheds skeletons off of it that will then come and try to kill you. So and actually there is a stat block for it in one of the many D&D
Also
books.
sounds like the Castlevania game has something like that in it too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it is known as a skeletal juggernaut. I can't remember what book it's in. The Arclight Phoenix that you encountered is also from Ravnica, I believe. So a lot of these are kind of refurbished, slightly altered. Yeah, a lot of the books have monsters that would probably appear in the morning, and I can't wait for you all to meet every goddamn one of them. As always, it's been amazing being your DM. I appreciate you all coming along on this adventure with us. We have just a few more weeks of this, and I'm so excited to see how this all wraps up. So that all said, we're still in the quarantines. Make sure you're washing your hands, not touching your face, wearing a mask. Try to stay inside if you can, and thank your essential workers any chance that you get. With all of that said, I'm going to turn it back over to Kyle.
Okay. Very well put. Very well put. Yeah, everyone, thank you so much for joining us. Quinn, Trell, Kev, everybody who's come out. Thanks for hanging out with us, and I'm glad I actually get to do some stuff in chat on this when I'm DMing. I don't have the brain capacity to DM, do stream stuff, and monitor chat, so it's nice to get to actually chat with some of you, especially with Quinn and Trell. I don't get to talk to as much normally, but awesome. Yeah, if you aren't a part of the Discord, come join the Discord. Check out YouTube. I just recorded this afternoon review on the psionic subclasses that were just released with Unearthed Arcana. I'll release that here tomorrow or the next day, and then I'll do the rest of that document later. Those tend to get long if you try to do the whole thing. So, yeah, YouTube, all that stuff. And thank you so much for joining us, everyone. We'll be back Wednesday, and we will have something coming up next Friday for our community one-shot. So if you're part of the Discord, you'll see what that is going to be very soon. And yes, we'll see everybody back Wednesday, and then next Saturday for Shade and Cinder. And everyone have a wonderful evening. Let's raid somebody. Actually, Kobold Press is on. Kobold Press does the best. I'm kind of partial, but in my opinion, like some of the best third-party stuff for 5e out there.
Yeah, they're awesome.
Yeah, their books of monsters are phenomenal.
Absolutely.
We own, I think, all of them, don't we, Jillian?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, they're just yeah, it's fantastic and amazing. And they also put their stuff on Roll20. So as soon as I can afford to do that, we'll get a bunch of monster stuff on here for future games. So everyone have a great evening, and yeah, we'll see y'all later.